Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast, the coolest wrestling podcast on the planet, a podcast that will never cast a curse on you unless you don't go to patreon.com/Santi's app to get the podcast 3 days early. What's up, Sancho? How are you, my friend?
Dude, I'm just building up my special meter. I just hit like 5 taunts. I'm so close to getting my finisher. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm sure it's going to go better than whatever LA Knight was trying to do in the Elimination Chamber with his little springboard slip, get hit in the nads, and then rolled up and eliminated. Brother, that might have been the worst 30-second day on the job for anybody that I've ever seen. Slip, fall, botched, hitting the nads, rolled up, eliminated, get out of here, sayonara. And there goes the push of LA Knight. But good things comes to those that wait. Brother, how's the glaze factory these days? It can't be good over there right now. Your poster child, your prime glaze, all of a sudden feels tainted. It feels like the glaze has gone sour here.
You know what it reminds me of? You ever heard of the 4 burner theory?
No.
You can't have a stove open, like 4 burners going on hot at the same time. One of them's going to sacrifice. So as Kiana James from the Glaze Factory is doing well, Raquel's doing well, LA Knight is the one's not doing well. It is what it is. We're okay.
You guys are okay. All right. I feel like you're the meme of the dog inside the house on fire and just coping and wanting to be okay. Everything's all right. Everything is fine.
It's the day for me is Money in the Bank. Okay. That's the day I have circled. That's the one. If it doesn't happen for LA Knight at Money in the Bank, don't talk to me.
Brother, that's been the same thing that we've been talking about since 2023. If it doesn't happen with LA Knight at this time, then it's over. And then that time happens, and then nothing happens, and then it's like, we're just moving the goalpost. That's the new end. Like, what happens if he doesn't win Money in the Bank 2026, Sancho?
I don't know.
What's the play? What's the play? Like,
I don't know.
Sancho, I want you to put a hard stop on when LA Knight will be unceremoniously removed from his seat of power at your glaze factory. Is it Money in the Bank? Like, when are you willing to actually give up? When are you gonna do the John Cena and smile and tap out when it comes to LA Knight? Because you can't just keep doing this to yourself, man. There has to be a day. You can't just pick a day and then that day happens and then nothing happens and you pick a new day. Is it Money in the Bank? Is that it? Is that the last dime? Is that the last bastion of hope for LA Knight fans?
You said, look, if it doesn't happen, I'm going to Titan Towers. Even though it's abandoned.
Getting all the LA Knight fans just got a good old-fashioned riot.
You know what's going to happen? It's that same thing. Remember in Lord of the Rings? When all of a sudden the elves are fighting right next to the Gimlis of the world, you're gonna have that moment. It's like, I never thought I fought side by side. You're like, hi, that's gonna be you and me, dude, for LA Knight. We're both on the opposite sides, but then you're gonna be happy. I'm gonna be happy. It's funny that anything bad happened to LA Knight, my chat just floods with people like, are you doing okay? Are you doing okay, Sancho? Are you okay? Are you okay with what happened to LA Knight? At the end of the day, botch or no botch, he would have gone down with a low blow and a roll up. And that's what hurts me the most. Okay?
I know, but it's just the fact that he botched right before the low blow and the roll up that makes it funnier. It's just funny, dude.
And then Randy laughing at him as he's rolling away in the ring. Come on, dude. We can't have nothing nice. I'm sorry. I can't have nothing nice. I really believe for all this to play off, there's only one man that could save everything. You know what's funny? There's only one man that could retcon so many things that if you have bad creative, he's that little sticky tape on the side, that little leaky tape, bam, right? Oh, we don't know how to get out of this jam. Bam. You know who that is?
Who? You
know who's that thing's that tape? It's the one and only Danhausen, dude. Oh, we don't know how to get this belt off of Dominic Mysterio that he's been holding on forever. Oh, guess what? You are cursed, and that's exactly how we get out of this situation. Just say that LA Knight's been cursed. That's brilliant. It's brilliant, I say. A brilliant.
I will say, I do think that Money in the Bank is the last bastion of hope for LA Knight. You danced around my question, sir, as to whether or not you were willing to put a deadline on the LA Knight fandom.
How can you do that to somebody you love, Santi?
Sometimes
no.
Sometimes you gotta let him go.
Do you hate John Cena? Have you let John Cena go?
He let me go. There's a difference. He let me go. I didn't let him go. He let me go. It hurts more what happened to me than what you have the choice to let him go. And listen, I'll say this. All right, when it comes to LA Knight, I do believe, and I think you and I have believed this together for a while now, that Money in the Bank is the best plot device to get him into a world title picture. It's not winning the Rumble. It's not Elimination Chamber. It's not King of the Ring. It has always been Money in the Bank. And I look at where Money in the Bank is this year, and it is such a low risk, high reward opportunity to give that to LA Knight because, okay, you didn't want to give him Money in the Bank in the lead up to SummerSlam because SummerSlam's a big show. You know, maybe you don't want to revolve it around LA Knight. But brother, it is the dead periods of September to December. Such low risk to just put that on LA Knight and do something interesting in the build up to like Survivor Series War Games with a character like LA Knight. And then guess what? If it doesn't work, if it just turns into a Jey Uso world title run, just take it off of him right before the Royal Rumble or at the Royal Rumble so you don't have to deal with him as champion in the lead up to WrestleMania. It's just such low risk, high reward, especially this year because of where Money in the Bank is. That to me, Sancho, should be the final nail in the coffin. If not there, you really should be getting off this ship, brother.
All I know, dude, you're describing me the scenario of LA Knight winning that Money in the Bank, and I have my eyes closed the entire time. If you're an audio listener, and it feels good. It feels nice and warm. I'm not like you. I'm not thinking about the cold times, all right? And again, I've made this statement before the Chamber. Anything that happens between now and Money in the Bank doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. LA Knight don't look at the camera like that, like Jim
WrestleMania and SummerSlam in there. The two biggest
shows
of the year are in that time
I don't care. He could be in the doggiest doghouses of Triple H. He could literally have a collar on his neck that says "Property of Triple H" and be in the doghouse, brother. When that ladder goes up, that fireball ladder, and he starts climbing that bad boy, and he takes that little thing off the belt, and he has the in the bank. All is erased. All is well. It's like all of a sudden that Thanos snap happened. Bang. And we're back on track.
Can I be honest with you? All right. I do think that Money in the Bank is the final bastion of hope for LA Knight.
You said that like 5 times. I got it.
I know, but like it's not even just because of the timeline. There's another charismatic guy that I think WWE just likes more, that plays the LA Knight better than LA Knight in a Trick Williams. I think WWE would, if you're being realistic here, Sancho, if WWE was going to pick LA Knight or Trick Williams to win this year's Money in the Bank, who do you think they pick? Because I think they pick Trick. If it's between those two.
LA Knight.
No
What's
way,
wrong
you're
with
insane.
you?
You're turning into Finn Balor fans.
No, I'm not. Trick Williams has plenty of runway in his career.
Yeah.
This is you said the last bastion. Trick Williams has like what, 15, 20?
And I still think they pick Trick Williams.
No way. No way. By the way, though, that feud between Trick and LA Knight would bang. That'd be awesome. But you can't.
Can't wait for LA Knight to put over Trick.
You know, at the same time, would happen? That would be LA Knight winning the Money in the Bank and then losing the Money in the Bank. That shit would happen to LA Knight fans. You understand?
You understand? Oh, dude, you'd be in shambles, brother. You would be in absolute shambles. Especially if it's a same night cash in too, and he fails.
I want to know this. Why do people have a shorter rope with LA Knight than they do other wrestlers? You know what? I mentioned this before.
What do you mean shorter rope? It's been years.
Let me finish. You know what it is? I mentioned this before, that when you're under the microscope of not only your company, but the fans and like everybody's watching for every single thing that you do, it's like an additional and unnecessary pressure. That's why he kind of flubs up a little line here and there, because everyone's watching. Hey, this promo is a major promo. How many times have I said that? This is going to be a make or break promo or program for LA Knight. And then he's in Chamber. It's the same situation. They give him the biggest spotlight he ever has recently, where the camera's literally on him. Everybody's down. Randy's down in the middle of the ring and he flubs up. It's like, I understand it. And it's like, you go back to your boss and they needle you and you're like, brother, Tom was late too. I'm not the only one late. That dude over there, Jey Uso, botches too. Why is it on me? That's what I would have replied with.
All right.
Backstage politics, brother, are at an all-time high. And you out here, you put in that, how dare you? How dare you put that out in the universe? You know what you're doing. You're going to get your little Santi slammers out there with their little pitchforks and go, yeah, Santi's right. It should be Trick Williams for Money in the Bank. And it's barely in, what are we, March?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Oh,
Let's talk about
it. hey, Sancho, grown folk talking.
Grown folk talking. With my lemon pepper steppers, dude. I'm sorry. He's just being a better LA Knight now. We've moved on to Trick Willie, brother. We've moved on. Oh, Sancho. Well, we're going to be talking about a lot more with everything involving Elimination Chamber, a handful of new champions. We got crazy stuff here on this road to WrestleMania. We're not just here to talk about LA Knight, because this is the Wrestling is Cool podcast, the coolest wrestling podcast on the planet. You can, of course, be an awesome human being and get this episode 3 days earlier than everywhere else on the planet by going over to patreon.com/SantiZap. Here's a little surprise. Not only do you get the podcast 3 days early, but you get the Raw reviews, the SmackDown reviews, the PLE reviews, my Elimination Chamber 1 hour review with footage. It's all on there. You get the currently ongoing NXT TakeOver main event watch-alongs, the currently ongoing Elimination Chamber watch-alongs, the already finished series of watching every Undertaker WrestleMania match, the completed series of every John Cena World Championship match, the completed series of every single, what else did we do? Every single Ryback match. We barely did that Royal Rumble match too. There's a lot of content over there on Patreon, thousands of hours, hundreds of videos at your instant disposal. Go check it out. Patreon.com/SantiZap. $5 gets you access to everything that we do there. All of the content is instantly available. If you do want to go above and beyond and go to the $15 tier, you do get access to like a little social gathering that we do every month where we watch a wrestling movie. And this weekend, man, we are doing it this weekend. We are watching none other than Haku Machente. The Scorpion King, ladies and gentlemen. So come check it out. If you're a $15 patron, you'll have access to the Discord and be able to join us for
I have the tape
movie
somewhere.
night.
I have the tape, and I kind of want to read the back of the tape.
Oh, dude. Okay,
let me look for it.
Yeah. Okay, go for it. It's not just gonna I think he has a copy of the Scorpion King. I have. Oh, Sancho. Hang on. Okay, you pull out something Scorpion King related. So will I. I'll be right back.
Here, folks, the Scorpion copy of the VHS. And according to the back, it says The Rock rules as its first kind of little stinger on it. But it says Adventure rules as the spectacular Mummy series explodes into a new realm of breathtaking nonstop action in the Scorpion King, unleashing WWE superstar The Rock as the most feared warrior in the ancient world. The Scorpion King plunges you into a sweeping tale filled with stunning fight sequences, awe-inspiring battles, pulse-pounding thrills, and its ultimate special effects power, epic, and must-see and see again adventure of the year. Special feature, I Stand Alone music video by Godsmack.
Dude, Sancho. Now that I find this, I feel like I got to do a playthrough. The Scorpion King on the GameCube. Yeah. So in the back, it says, experience the adventure that started it all in an original story inspired by the blockbuster film, The Scorpion King. The Acadians were a tribe of warriors. Okay, who cares? This game is terrible. And now I'm playing this on stream. I've decided we're playing the Scorpion King.
Dude, you got to get that signed by Dwayne. Oh, that'd be a great
It would be. It'd be cool. It would be priceless for me if I actually got this signed by Dwayne. It actually would be priceless. And this is complete in box too, because I was a stupid kid back in the day. I was fooled. But okay, so if you're somebody that's like in their early 20s or a teenager watching this, back in the 2000s, every movie got a video game. It was the movie time game. It was every movie, every single one. And they were almost 99% of the time terrible games. But they preyed on children like me that really like The Rock, that really like the Scorpion King, I bought this full price. I had the choice
Hell
of
yeah.
this or The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and my dumbass went with the Scorpion King, Rise of the Akkadian. This is not a repurchase either. I kept my original copy of the Scorpion King, Rise of the Akkadian. Bought it at Costco back in the day.
Oh, hey, but yeah, can you imagine? I think it is possible for you to get The Rock to sign that. Because like they would probably get you on one of those little creator little things, and The Rock wants to use, you're like interviewing The Rock, and they just kind of shuttle you around one of those press junkets, and you could totally interview him, and you could be like, "Hey, Rock, I just want to let you know I have this, and I had an opportunity, the opportunity to buy this Legend of Zelda, and I picked this, Rock."
Dude, if I ever have the opportunity to go to like an event where there's an opportunity that The Rock might show up, I think I will bring my copy of Scorpion King, Rise of the Akkadian.
Okay. According to price charting, which is the ultimate thing to do for like vintage games, is what I live by, and I have a collection there. New price, $22.
Oh, is it a $22 game?
Box only, $4. Manual price, $6. You should get it graded, because if you get it graded, $88.
Wow. And then get a graded signed copy with The Rock.
Oh, and then put it in the little placard, and then put it in the chain.
Like Logan. Oh. I make my debut with a copy of the Scorpion King on the GameCube, graded, signed by Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, dude. You can't get Michael Clark Duncan because he's passed.
Nah, that's a shame. Yeah. R.I.P. All right, let's get going here, Sancho. Obviously, we should start by talking about Elimination Chamber. I want to start talking about the men's chamber specifically because there's some major development that goes right immediately after the men's chamber. So, men's chamber match. We obviously already talked about the LA Knight stuff. We can completely bypass that. The one thing about the
biggest thing that happened for me, as it's that,
whatever. I want to talk about everything that happened in the men's chamber. First, I want to talk about Logan Paul. I found it peculiar that they were pretty dead set on telling the story of the member of the Vision dominating, only for Seth Rollins and the Masked Man to come in and stop them. I think it was very clear as day that choreography was designed originally for Braun Breaker and then for Bronson Reed. In my review that I go into much more detail on the Patreon, to me, it felt out of place to have Logan Paul still play the, quote, dominant person in the chamber, getting the most eliminations since like Brock Lesnar, only to get thwarted by Seth Rollins. But the thing is, it's that to me, it doesn't land as hard because he was getting his eliminations in like Weasley ways. Smart. He was like stealing pins. To me, had Seth Rollins come in and stopped a dominant Logan Paul, that would have hit harder than coming in to stop a Weasley Logan Paul. So I found that one to be a little bit odd. And it also looks, following up with this episode of Monday Night Raw, that they might not be doing Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. That might not be the WrestleMania match. Sancho, if that isn't the WrestleMania match, then I double have to question the decision to have Logan Paul be so dominant in the chamber. Why put Logan Paul in a position to be the most dominant person in the chamber if you're not going to follow it up to pay it off with the big match with Seth Rollins? I feel like if anything, it did damage to the characters that a lot of people wanted to see more from. LA Knight, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and I don't think that trade-off was worth it. That's the first thing that I want to put in front of you when it comes to the men's chamber. What do you think?
I agree with you because it did feel kind of like, what did Javon do in the chamber? Didn't feel memorable. What did Trick do in the chamber? Didn't feel memorable. They were sacrificed for the Vision. And I think when you said, imagine Braun Breaker in there, that changes the whole thing. You're like, oh, wow, Braun Breaker being in the chamber and being so dominant would feel scary. But this didn't have that. Maybe, and this is a criticism to me when it comes to WWE booking, is you had the idea, of course, things happen. You had to pivot multiple times. But then when you got to the idea of, okay, we're going to go with Logan, you stopped there and you didn't progress it any further. There's plenty of times to make Logan look strong and Weasley at the same time, and the brass knuckles would have been the thing. I literally saw good old Triple H used a sledgehammer against Goldberg. Why not do the same thing for Logan Paul just to make everybody protected that's in the chamber that loses? Like we mentioned with Javon going out and Trick and then LA Knight going down to a low blow and a roll up, it feels uncreative. And I think that's where I have that discrepancy between Logan and whatnot. I don't care if Logan gets the most eliminations. It is how. And I think you said the best. It's how he did it and didn't match with the response. The consequence wasn't there to meet that, because then it feels imbalance. And I felt like that entire chamber was imbalanced. And not only that, when we got to the other part, the third act with a finish with Randy, Cody, and Drew, just imbalanced chamber led to a funky feeling, considering that it's supposed to be one of the most drama-filled, intense, PLE gimmicky matches that you have left in your entire catalog. And it just fell flat because of like the possibilities that it could have been. That, you know, we wanted a Javon moment, and that Javon moment quickly gets snuffed out by Logan Paul almost killing Javon Evans. By the way, I do believe that they did not practice that move enough, because remember, Logan's a late addition to the chamber, and he probably went, hey, I got to hit you with a pulverizer. Let's practice it. And that's why it looks so funky in the chamber itself.
Yeah, it looks like Javon's all right. He's already calling out, you know, the new Intercontinental Champion, classic commercial segment. I think they're trying a little too hard with the you know. I think they're trying to recreate the merchandising magic of the yeet. I see right through it. It's just a different way to say yeet. What's up with WWE? We got yeet, Where's we need somebody saying nah, no. How about that? Nar, you know, as the Australians like to say.
No.
Oh,
that's it's Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. Okay, let's stick with that, because we want to. Of course, we have the WWE Championship stuff, but I want to dig into the Seth Rollins stuff since we're already here, right? We've got Seth Rollins. He attacks Logan Paul. He costs Logan Paul. Then they follow it up on Monday Night Raw. The consequences of everything seem to not involve Logan Paul, which is, again, why I think everything seemed a little bit funky that they decided to do all of that in the chamber. The consequences were paid by Paul Heyman. And I like that. I do like that Paul Heyman is the nucleus of this, because Logan Paul and Austin Theory, I made the argument, it just doesn't make any sense to get vengeance on the two guys that weren't really there, that took you out in the first place, but Paul Heyman was. Even though, correct me if I'm wrong, Paul Heyman wasn't even in on the kicking out of Seth Rollins. It was a decision made by Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman just went with it, retconning a a little bit.
Yeah, because they were asking, like, whose side are you on?
Yeah.
Remember Braun Breaker was like, yeah, whose side are you on? Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of retconning to make, you know, Heyman the nucleus of it all and the reason why it all happened. But sure, let's go with it. I can live with that. I think it opens up some interesting scenarios, because I don't think it's Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins based on things and how they played out on Monday Night Raw. I think we're looking at either Braun Breaker actually making it in time, or Sancho, we could just straight up be looking at Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, as Brock Lesnar comes in as the champion for Paul Heyman after what happened to Paul Heyman on Monday Night Raw, leaving him all bloody and messed up, and then he got kidnapped. He got kidnapped by LA Knight, by the way, also doing Grand Theft Auto. I looked it up. It's like 30 years in prison what LA Knight did, and in some states it's life in prison.
What? He was just driving.
Oh, that's kidnapping, brother.
Are you and I don't know, there must be some kind of fee for stealing an ambulance, but that's my GTA move, dude. If I need to go ahead and take out a boss in GTA 4 or 3, I take an ambulance and that thing's that little mini tank, dude. You just ram it in there. That's my favorite thing about GTA. When you got to take out somebody, it doesn't give you any kind of rules. You could do whatever you want. And that's the best thing, is just, bam, and you take them out. And that's what a good old LA Knight was doing.
Dude, he almost ran over somebody. Did you see the clip?
He did. There's no rules in wrestling, and that's what I was trying to say, dude. Wrestling could be anything, and that's what I loved about that segment. Quickly talk about it, simply because it made the baby faces look smart. Like, that's what we wanted. Jimmy looked smart, LA Knight looked smart, but the vision, brother, and you want Brock Lesnar to help Paul? Ew.
No, I did not say I want it. I'm presenting the possibility of it.
Ew.
I want Brock and Oba. I want Brock and Oba.
I know you do, but now you've opened up the door that Brock Lesnar's open challenge with Paul Heyman standing there could be answered by Seth Rollins.
One of the things that I said in a video that I uploaded this week was that if they want to pivot to Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar, then pivot to it. Do it. Just do it. Don't do this open challenge thing because that doesn't work anymore. Because the open challenge is a medium. It's a way to give us a dream match, a match that hasn't happened before, an oddball match without the need of a story buildup. If Seth Rollins answers this open challenge, that's lame. You should just forget this open challenge thing and just focus on the story of Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, and Brock Lesnar. Drop this open challenge thing. That's my opinion. If you're gonna do the open challenge, then do an open challenge. Actually make it feel like somebody that isn't the status quo could answer it, like an Obafemi. But if it's not Braun Breaker returning in time, it already feels like it's not Logan Paul. It almost feels like, Sancho, we're dealing by default Brock Lesnar here. But the open challenge thing it makes it odd. It makes it weird. So if they want to go with Brock and Seth, they should drop the open challenge thing and just lean into Brock, Seth, and Heyman and tell that story.
You have Brock Lesnar's appearance next is March 16th.
Yes.
So it's not the next Monday Night Raw. It's the one after. So you could assume that if LA Knight and kidnap Paul Heyman, that Paul Heyman's not around, then but that means Brock doesn't have to, he's not going to be there anyway. But the 16th, is he walking out with or without Heyman?
I mean, based on what we saw from Jey Uso, who got put in an ambulance and then he just comes back the next episode of Raw, totally fine. I guess anything is possible, right? I think it's all, what's the convenient thing to do here? And I think the convenient thing to do is to make sure that Lesnar always has Heyman. Lesnar needs Heyman.
I will add this to you. And this was something that I thought about, and we got a taste of it on commercial. What does the vision look like without any kind of restrictions, without any kind of adult in the room to tell them, don't do that? And I wish we got a little bit of a better taste because Austin Theory and Logan Paul cut a commercial promo. It wasn't that bad. It was unhinged a little bit. It was cool. It was like, you beat up my dad and I want to come and beat everybody. And then somebody, I kid you not, with peace and love, I like Austin Theory. I'm sure he's on his journey to figure out. I need to figure out what he said because he ended it with the pressure. And I'm like, no,
brother, no one's calling you that. Dude, my favorite Austin Theory line on this episode of Monday Night Raw is, I have a theory. It was almost up there with, I'm going to prom break you.
I don't understand, dude. It is an interesting idea. What's funny is I Google Austin Theory Logan and up comes your video on IG.
Nice. Are you watching it right now?
Well, I can't fast forward it, so I'm just going to wait until Austin Theory talks and to that point to where he drops his little banger line. But I would say this again, Logan Paul, great by himself, doesn't need Paul Heyman as a mouthpiece. But Austin Theory is like the little brother that he has to keep around. And he doesn't have you remember when we had Dom running in the circles with Logan? Like, dude, they're pretty cool together, right? Dom and Logan, they kind of play off each other because they're both cool. Yeah, Austin Theory's not that cool guy.
No,
you know what
man.
I mean?
Austin Theory ain't working in this.
But dude, Logan's trying so hard.
Logan's working. Logan's making it work.
His boy, right?
Theory's just it's just not working with whatever it is that they're trying with Theory. Most of the time he cuts his promo. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Can we give the mic back to Logan, please? Because this is just not great there from Austin Theory. I did like his kind of like panicky acting with Paul Heyman, like, hey, stop the bleeding, do something, stop the bleeding. But aside from that, most of the time, Austin Theory just hasn't really done it for me.
Hold on, here he goes. Tonight, you're going to see it. Tonight, you're going to feel it. That's his pressure.
It's so bad.
It's not going to be all this one word. Tonight, you're going to feel it. Tonight, you're going to see it.
So you don't like Brock Lesnar, Seth? Sure. I don't either.
Who does?
It's better than Brock and LA Knight.
Sure. But I mean, there's still the tie. If LA Knight kidnapped Heyman and Brock needs to save his penguin,
Sure. So you are you married to Brock Oba?
I am married for the sake of the internet, the IWC. I think if you don't get Brock versus Oba, things are going to go hectic. People are going to start burning the place down type of situation because it's what people desperately want. You cannot talk about Brock Lesnar anywhere without people going Oba Femi. I presented on my YouTube channel a very long shot scenario for Brock Lesnar just because my hackles are up. You know, as a little doggy, my little hackles are up because I smell something weird in the atmosphere. Is I've never seen the Stephanie McMahon podcast just stick on one clip over and over and over. And I never seen a double booked Stephanie McMahon What's Your Story podcast booked again. You know who the name that I've been wondering why they keep showing him and not putting him in the ring?
Good old Royce Keys.
Royce Keys. They keep telling me the story in this video. I explained that it's such a heartbreaking story and it's an inspiring story of this man overcoming the hand dealt to him, overcoming his family's deficiencies, things like that, overcoming everything in his life to be in the WWE type of thing. And it's been showcased multiple times. This is like the third week. Am I right? That we've seen.
I've seen that clip so many times now.
Right. And I'm thinking, is this a way for Triple H to get people to tune in to Stephanie's podcast? Because if you have that story going and brewing, and then you have the open challenges, and if Royce Keys answers the call, the WWE will be banking that you've watched the podcast to understand their story, his story, and then you could say, damn, I want him to overcome this obstacle in Brock Lesnar. It's a long shot. People would go, all right, I'm intrigued by it. I don't think people would reject it so much, but that just means you got to give something better for Oba to do where Oba's at booking wise. But yeah, if it's not Oba Femi, what they're gonna do, brother?
It should be Oba. To me, it's the simplest, easiest decision they have to make. But I also now think that it all depends if Braun Breaker's here or not. I really think it entirely hinges on that. I think I'm pretty convinced it's not going to be Seth and Logan. So it's got to be Seth versus somebody that's going to defend Paul Heyman. And it ain't going to be the pressure, you know? It ain't going to be, I've got a theory. It's got to be Brock Lesnar and or a returning Braun Breaker. And I sincerely hope it's Braun Breaker because that's great because that's the guy that actually killed the championship run of Seth Rollins, the reason why he had to drop the championship, the reason he got kicked out of the division, the canon reason why he lost so much time in WWE. Braun Breaker is the play. Is the play available? I don't know. If the play is not available, I'm thinking they're going to do Lesnar. That's it. It's not what I want. I'm just like you. I'm sniffing what's around me, and that is what I'm sniffing. But again, I want to reiterate: if they decide to do Lesnar, drop the open challenge thing, focus on Lesnar and Seth Rollins, use all of Lesnar's appearances, which he actually has quite a few of, to build just that and nothing else. Focus on that entirely and drop the open challenge thing because I think it would be lame. It's like Lesnar goes out there, hey, I want to, hey, who's going to answer the open challenge? And then Seth Rollins comes out. That's lame. Just focus on telling a story and drop the open challenge thing if that's going to end up being the play. But maybe Braun Breaker does come back and we can still do the Brock Lesnar open challenge and it gets answered by Oba. But I want to move on now to the next portion.
Wait. So, but the other time they faced each other was at
Mania. There was a
Mania
SummerSlam match.
and then SummerSlam and
technically Mania 31 too with the cash-in.
And Battleground.
I forgot about Battleground, yeah, because Lesnar cashed in on him at Extreme Rules after the mixed tag match. Yeah.
Briefcase dancing. Dog, that's crazy that Brock Lesnar held the Money in the Bank. So unnecessary. Poor Ali. Just get it down. You're right there.
Pull it, brother. Okay, let's go back to the men's chamber and let's go back to the other side of the coin. We had the ending there with Randy Orton.
Question.
Yes.
Quick question. Javon Evans, Trek Williams stock, up or down or indifferent after chamber?
I mean, just because they were in the chamber, it's up. But then the performance at the chamber didn't take them over the edge. It's still up. Like, they still got to be in the chamber.
But good Lord. 17 minutes to get in the ring for everybody. Jesus.
Dude, it was that. If you total everything, I know Danhausen's reveal was in there, but it was 38 minutes between the end of the CM Punk Finn Balor match and the start of the Elimination Chamber match. That's crazy.
Good Lord.
Crazy. Like borderline disrespectful use of our time.
Did you see what Randy was doing? And then Michael Cole goes, taking a sweet time to get in his pod.
Javon took a sweet time too.
Dude, I was literally, which tells me that was not an accident. Someone in the back told him to fill because they were low on time. That's a totally feeling gimmick. Why would you have?
It'd be high on time if they're telling them to fill.
You know what I mean? They needed to make up time essentially, so they made everybody take their time, look at everybody in the pod, say hello to everybody in the pod, move the chain to make sure it's real, look at it like, oh my god, this thing's massive.
Or
you know what?
They could have just done the fantastic Dragon Lee Gunther match on Raw on Elimination Chamber because that match ruled.
Yeah. Now you're seeing it. Now you're on my side because the WWE forced you. They forced you. I never thought today. They never thought today that Santi and Sancho would fight side by side. Not fighting side by side, but die next to one. That's what he said. I never thought I'd die next to Santi.
How about next to a friend? All right.
I could do that.
Other half of the shenanigans there in the men's chamber, we had the final two being Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. They don't even get a chance to really face off with one another or provide offense on each other because Drew McIntyre breaks in, hits Cody Rhodes with the title in the back. Cody and Drew brawl. Randy breaks it up, hits an RKO on Drew. Drew gets hit with a crossroads, and then like beautiful flow in motion, Cody gets up from the crossroads, instantly eats an RKO for Randy Orton to win. And what was seen as an upset, which, by the way, I want to point out what a ridiculous world we live in when a 14-time world champion, Randy Orton, many-time WrestleMania main eventer winning is seen as an upset. That's a crazy, that's a crazy timeline to live in.
How many times he's appeared in Chamber? 5 times?
No, I think he's done like 12 chambers. I think they said he has the record for number of chambers.
Did he win 5?
Oh, I don't know how many he's won. He's definitely been in more than 5, though.
The one that I saw that he was in, he was someone pointed out in our Patreon that he was wearing the same color trunks in the one that he first debuted in, and this one.
Oh, that's cool.
The red, that dark red trunk. Yeah.
So Randy Orton wins. I knew immediately. It's like, okay, I don't think that they're going to be running Drew versus Randy. I smelled shenanigans afoot on upcoming episodes of SmackDown, but they didn't wait. Then in the post show, good old Nick Aldis channels his NWA World Heavyweight Champion Nick Aldis, his Impact World Champion Magnus, cuts a nasty promo, beautiful promo in the post show on Drew McIntyre, completely ignores contract law and says that there will be a match for Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship between Cody and Drew McIntyre on Friday Night SmackDown. And brother, so many things are up in the air. And this is the beauty of having Randy win and then immediately booking this match, because now they could do the options, right? It could be Randy Cody. It could be Randy McIntyre. It could be Randy McIntyre Cody. It could be Randy McIntyre Cody Fatu. It could be Randy versus Cody, and on the other side, McIntyre versus Fatu. And or potentially McIntyre versus Aldis. All of these things are actually on the table here. And I think this is a brilliant choice in what was a bit of a stagnant main event scene there on Friday Night SmackDown. Now all of a sudden, poof, it got the piece of dynamite that it needed to really blow it up. It's still the same players, but what they did is like, oh, we've already built our Lego piece. Now I'm going to smash it, build it again, bitch. And now I'm like, I'm going to have fun rebuilding this Lego piece because now I can build something different if I want to. I think that this was a brilliant choice, in my opinion, to go with Randy over just going with the status quo Cody Rhodes, because now we got ourselves a fun, disruptive road to WrestleMania. What do you want to see at Mania here is my question to you right now.
I appreciate your enthusiasm for wanting all the shenanigans and all that kind of stuff, but you just undermine the chamber winner of Randy Orton if you're going to give Cody Rhodes a match.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Like, why did we go through the 6 pods of chamber, 2 miles of chain, 36 feet in diameter?
They did it last year, and it was fine though with the women's chamber. Yes, Io didn't even need to be in the chamber to win the Women's World Championship and get an opportunity. So they've done it. The blueprint exists, and it led to some great stuff at Mania.
But listen here, man, or we can't have it both ways. Either you're a traditionalist and you appreciate what they do, or you want the things like, why watch 3 hours? Because I had this moment in my mind, then why watch Chamber? What was the point of watching Chamber then? If I would have missed Chamber, what if I would have felt fulfilled or not? If I saw that we're going to have the actual payoff, the Mania to set up at Friday Night SmackDown, well, then why watch? I think this is a result.
That's fair.
This is a result of not having pay-per-views, of making sure that you already have monthly subscribers and you don't have to make people buy your pay-per-view. You could do these kinds of things of continuations of stories rather than actually have them pay off at a pay-per-view event like they did in the past with subscriptions and things of that sort. You could be like, well, it doesn't matter. You're locked in. We already got your money. We don't have to make sure that you're happy with the product at the end of the day. We could eat C's and PLE grades and things like that because at the end of the day, you're locked in and you're going to be here for Mania anyway. So, yeah, but that's my problem with that. But I have a lot of different theories as well. I think that's what you want. You want people not to be able to predict things cleanly. Can I toss you a scenario that you didn't mention because you mentioned so many?
Hit me.
What if after Drew loses the title, sucks, right? Drew goes to Mania and does face your good old Nick Aldis, but instead for a title on the line, it's for the right to be the GM of SmackDown. And then because slow down, because Drew McIntyre is tired of being screwed over, so he decides he needs to take over SmackDown, and it's Nick Aldis versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre wins at Mania, becomes the GM of SmackDown, and we get that fun, exciting time of a wrestler being a GM, like Stone Cold, like Kurt Angle, and we can have good old Drew McIntyre feeling like people complain to him over and over again, and he finally gets to see what's it like for people to complain to him and for him to set up matches, and he has an opportunity to screw people, and it gives us that opportunity to give us a heel authority type figure that I so desperately want in a more organic way, rather than having Triple H come down from Gorilla and do his all over the place. Just a fun, safe place. Come on. What else is Drew going to do if he's not an undisputed champion? What else is he going to do? What's wrong with being a GM? I don't know
that the play is be the manager.
What's wrong with that? It'd be fun. I would tune in every week of SmackDown and see what is Drew McIntyre up to. He could wrestle too. He could be an acting GM manager.
I mean, like, since when are jobs on the line like that? Like, I want to be the CEO. Let's have a match. I mean, it's wrestling, sure, I guess. I'm not.
What else are you gonna do? You want Drew to be a sacrifice for Cody Rhodes?
I want Drew to be in the World Championship match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and lose.
I mean, he's got to lose eventually. You're suggesting he loses and then becomes the manager.
No, he wins and becomes a manager. I think he should rather have a one-on-one match for Randy. Respect Chamber, one-on-one Randy. Don't do this fatal four-way. Don't try to.
Wait, so when do you do Drew and Nick in your scenario?
At Mania.
So then when do you do Drew and Randy?
You didn't look. No, I'm saying that he's going to lose the title to Cody. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, okay. You said he was going to win. Okay, so he's going to.
No, he loses the title to Cody. Goes on to Mania, gets pissed at Nick Aldis, challenges Nick Aldis to be the GM.
All right, brother, I'll let you have this one, sure.
Okay, so you rather have a fatal four-way for what? Why?
For the WWE Championship.
Be confident, WWE. Don't give me these four ways to protect Cody, to protect Randy, to protect Drew, so he doesn't get pinned, to protect Jekka Fatu. Don't do that. That's uncreative. That's lame. Stick to your guns. Be bold. You want Randy to go after 15? Stick to Randy going after 15 against Drew McIntyre. The Claymore, that's right there should sell enough. But no, you're unconfident. So what do? You stick your golden boy back in again, QB1 Cody Rhodes, and hoping to sell tickets for Mania. That's lame.
It is. Look, there's not too much that I love about the idea of Drew McIntyre being the general manager. But I think you bring up an interesting point about the lack of confidence, because I see it. I do see a lack of confidence here. The lack of confidence in just straight up doing Drew versus McIntyre. Drew versus Orton at WrestleMania, because like that's a big match. But there is a lack of confidence that, to a degree, is maybe a justifiable lack of confidence because of their lack of ticket sales. This is a show where I think WWE is heavily banking on all of their known ticket movers to move tickets. And that's why it's We would love to maybe experiment with Randy versus McIntyre, but we need Cody here to move the tickets. We need Cody to be on the head billing.
What's this?
That's you clapping your hands?
Wrong. It's me pressing the WWE panic button. We figured it out. Remember we asked this question, What is the panic button? Who wins Chamber for the ladies?
The ticket mover, Rhea.
Who wins Chamber for the men?
The ticket mover, Randy.
Who has been given a match for the title on Friday to get into the main event of Mania?
The ticket mover in Cody. And it goes back to Rumble too. The ticket mover, Roman, and the other big star from the women's side that's a merch mover. I don't know if she's ticket mover, but definitely merch mover and super popular in Liv Morgan. We found it. The panic button is the status quo. Let's put our known commodities in headlining spots, which brings me back to Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. I think in a regular, well-selling Mania, they might be more willing to experiment with Oba.
Hear me out. I know this is a dumb thing to say, and I'm full of dumb things.
It can't be worse than Drew McIntyre's general manager, so go ahead. You can only go up from here.
Idea, dude. Can you imagine people knocking on his office and Drew's like, what do you want? and it's stupid Johnny Gargano, who's all sad, and he's like, oh, what do you want, Johnny? He's like, I need a match. And Drew's like, get out of here. Get out of my face. Like, come on, dude. That's going to be awesome. But I know our product relies on the success of Mania, all right? You people think that we just shell out for WWE. But I'm here to say the bold thing here. This Mania is a wash. Let's just get through it, enjoy it for what it is.
Don't say that.
It's not gonna be saved. It's going to be one of those ones where we can't like bring it magically back up with a booking. We just got to enjoy what we have now because it is what it is. There's not going to be some magic match that's going to make up that 20%. It's foolish, I think, for the WWE to think that there is a way to resurrect this Mania for everyone to be back on board as if it's WrestleMania 40, 39, even 41. There's not that play. There's no Cena to resurrect it. Now, the only factor that could kind of bring this out of that lull, what happened on Monday at the very, very end? I'm jumping. Right. I know I'm jumping around for a bit. But what did CM Punk say at the very, very end?
Dead daddy line.
Right? Good old Christian Cage, right? What happens when you disrespect the bloodline? Who gets offended the most?
The final boss. The Scorpion King. Haku Machente. Ha!
Dog, if all of a sudden, if Roman's not showing up to work for 7 weeks, what man can show up to work for stock options and millions of dollars?
To move tickets. It's the panic button. It is the panic button. I mean, it could happen. I think, Sancho, I'm not ready to call Mania a wash like you just did.
I'm going to say it's a wash. I said we can't resurrect it. We can't make it back to where it was. This is what we have. This is what we're going to work with.
I think this is a Mania that... Okay, this is going to be a weird comparison. I think that this year's Mania is going to be Kiana James. In that Kiana James is not somebody that just deserves the pop. She needs to earn the pop, right? She got no pop at Elimination Chamber, but what does she do? When the bell rang, when the match started, she earned the pop, right? Because she started doing some awesome stuff. She was the first half MVP. Stocks of Kiana James exploded. People love Kiana James. What I'm saying here is that the lead up to this Mania, it might not deserve the pop, but it could win you over the night of. It could. It could deliver some magic when it's happening. I'm not ready to call it a wash until the smoke settles and it's properly over. Listen, we could be looking, the last time we had this many injuries going into a Mania, it was Mania 31, and that ended up being magical. Everyone went into Mania 31 with like complete cratered expectations. And we ended up getting a magical night, an awesome night. One of my favorite WrestleManias of all time. That to me is what I want to hang on to. That is my hope. There is still a long time between now and WrestleMania that things could heat up, and there are some stuff that are already heating up, like Roman Reigns and CM Punk, that I'm super excited for. But I think it's going to be a You got to earn the pop that night, Mania. You don't get the pop when your music hits like Kiana. You got to earn your pop.
Are you okay?
Why?
WrestleMania 31, first of all, one night. Huge difference between a 2-night ticket sale. If it was one night Mania, I think we'd be fine. Like there's that.
If you're about to shit on Mania 31, you're about to eat so many bad comments. By the way, that's one of the most beloved Manias.
A Mania featuring Triple H versus Sting.
I did not like that, but people weirdly fell in love with that match. People loved the weird nostalgia. That was the OG Bloodline rules. Me and you, we didn't like that because we think it just made no sense for NWO to help Sting. But people like that. Believe it or not, Sancho, people like that.
That buried Sting and the continuation of WCW superstars coming into WWE and still getting buried.
I'm not a fan of that match. I like the shenanigans of the match, even if they don't make any sense. But people like that match.
The pre-show of Big Show winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale.
I don't really even remember that. But wouldn't it be nice to get a pre-show with a match, Sancho?
You got Daniel Bryan winning the Intercontinental Championship.
Literal heater, one of the best matches of the year.
I would agree. I agree. You had AJ and Paige defeating the Bella Twins in a tag match.
I don't remember that.
You had Daylight Bray Wyatt in Daylight Undertaker match.
That was actually not bad. I mean, who are you gonna blame the Sun? You think the Sun went into business for himself? That was actually one of the better Taker matches of that latter portion of his career.
Then you had good old Cena versus Rusev with the tank.
That rocked. That fucking rocked.
You just love Rusev.
Yeah, that rocked. You'll never be able to make me hate that match. That Cena winning ended up even being a good decision because it got us the open challenge stuff. That match rocked.
And then you had the solid. I would give you this: Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins.
Banger.
To throw us off the sniffing trail because the good old RKO banger did.
Banger.
And then of course you had good old Roman versus
banger
Brock Lesnar, and then but that just tells you this: that wrestling has the ability that I'm gonna side with you on that no matter what happens from now, the lead up, it is how they close out Mania is the matter. Because if you look at last year, we had a fun ride. We had a solid Royal Rumble.
It was a great Mania. It was solid a good Mania.
And it was going all the way well to WrestleMania 41, and then Cody Rhodes versus John Cena shows up with the Fiendster himself, Travis Scott, and everything went.
Yeah, I will defend Mania 41 for what it was, with the exception, of course, of the terrible main event. People like to just think that Mania 41 was bad. It wasn't. It really was not a bad show. It was just
quickly
a terrible ending.
Quickly looking over the card, we had night 1, night 2. I love night 1 ending with the triple threat.
Awesome.
Good old Seth Rollins. I'm sorry for saying good old. I know I say that a lot, but it's just in my lexicon. And then we had the Clash of the Castle. Yikes. The type of what is it? What was that game?
Clash of Clans or
Clash of Clans, Clash Royale.
Yeah, that should have been the SmackDown TLC. Had they added that there? Whoo!
Yeah, we had Jade versus Naomi. Had a lot of drama behind that one.
Yeah,
absolutely, a lot of drama. Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. That was a solid one.
Good match.
Great match. We've heard the OG Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix. That was fun.
Actually, a really good match too.
It was turning that around. The only one I would say, I know Jey Uso and Gunther was on the card too for this night, but Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte was the
disappointing. That was disappointing.
Which is interesting because I'm getting notes of this as well. Like I'm like one of those little wine. What are those things called, Santi? I'm not fancy as you.
A sommelier.
Yes. I'm smelling the notes of the same thing of Jade and Rhea here. Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair could kind of fall into this if they're not careful with the build, because there's a lot of social media hubbub about them trading barbs back and forth. I know we're getting worked, but my fear is they're going to try to dip into, because it's interesting because Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquera dipping into some like crazy kind of topics a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know, Liv Morgan calling the rings that
the mud huts,
mud huts,
like, okay, you gotta be careful there.
Slow down there, Liv. So it's interesting to see with Rhea and Jade. I think they're going to be much more professional than Tiffany and Charlotte for sure, but put a pin in that, folks. Next night, we did have that banger, the triple threat of Io, Bianca, and Rhea. Phenomenal match. And then we got the follow-up of the Sin City Street Fight. That itself, the follow-up was terrible. Awful.
The match was great.
And Dave. Yeah, that was the match where Damian Priest got a Claymore to the side of the head on the chair. And then we had the Dominic Mysterio winning the IC title.
Great match.
Awesome. Got a curtain call for good old Dom as well. That was fun. Randy Orton, Joe Henry was a wash. It was just one of those ones like, hey,
that's
man,
no one's
positive,
fault, right?
Viral.
That's just no one's fault. Randy and KO couldn't happen. It's better than nothing, right?
Yeah. And then you had Logan versus AJ Styles.
Disappointing.
Yeah, but you had a little bit of taste of carrying cross.
Yeah, how'd that turn out?
Well, he's the MLW champion, so what are you going to do? Then we had Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch defeating Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
The big thing there was the pop return of Becky. That's what that was all about.
Oh, was that her new song? No.
She came out to the regular, like her old theme.
Yeah. Oh, the steampunk theme. And then after that, you had John Cena versus Cody Rhodes.
Dude, you went over a great night of wrestling, and then I hear that, I'm like, ugh, terrible. I'm just
The Rock didn't show up.
I'm choosing to be optimistic with this Mania. Okay. I think that there are pieces to make it fun the night of. I really, really believe that there's some strong players here.
What do we have so far? We only have one match confirmed.
Let me pull it up. Like,
pull it.
WrestleMania 42, like just kind of like the confirmed matches, and then we can
3 matches at least confirmed.
Yes, I think we have 4 actually.
No, we have the Drew and Randy
we technically have 5, but the 5th one is with a TBD, the Brock Lesnar Open Challenge. So we have CM Punk Roman. I'm just pumped. Yes, that's gonna be great. I think Stephanie versus Liv. I think that's gonna be a great in-ring match. I really think that's gonna be great. Right now, they're having Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton listed there. Who knows what that ends up being, but I think it's going. I think we're going to end up getting some crazy shenanigans. It might just straight up be Randy versus Cody, and then we finally get that big Randy versus Cody match that a lot of people wanted. And Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley, I think it's kind of TBD to see like what they build here, but that's definitely the big billing match for the women there. And just kind of like based on like other feuds that we have going on around, I think that they could build a pretty strong card here. Again, it's going to be the Kiana James of WrestleManias. It's got to earn its pop the night of. It's not going to get the pop when the music hits. That's my thoughts.
There's just so many factors. I think they need to hurry up and nail it down, because that's the only way that's going to convince people to buy tickets, if they nail it down faster than, like, it cannot be the night before the go home we get matches added to it. And I think that's one of the greatest downfalls of WWE booking these days, is like they wait the go home to finally be the biggest build. For example, the go home on SmackDown for this men's chamber was so fun, and I'm like, dude, we could have had at least 3 weeks of this. Them all crossing together, Javon getting the RKO, Javon hitting the back of the head of Trick Williams, LA Knight, coming out his promo against everybody, and then all that was fun. And you know what? To go back to the men's chamber, I know we went off base a little bit to talk about that third act that you were talking about. It is interesting that they didn't let Cody and Randy go one-on-one that long at all. They didn't even lock up. It's clear as day to me that they're saving that for Mania. Yes. They didn't want them to trade any blows back and forth, because immediately Drew came in and hit him with the belt, and then the RKOs and the crossroad. And
it was like a 10-second sequence. It was blink and you miss it.
Which was bizarre for chamber matches, because they usually have that long-standing duel type of thing. And so when it was happening, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Logan got eliminated by Seth Rollins. Like, all right. And then, boom, Cody's gone immediately. Crazy.
Yeah, man. Well, let's move over to the women's chamber. We've already kind of touched up on it. So we had Rhea Ripley win. I think it's the expected winner for a lot of people, just because it is the biggest star to go up against Jade Cargill. We've had a bunch of social media jabbing back and forth with reports of like real heat because of it. I think it's all a work. I think it's all going to end up appearing on Unreal season 3 most likely. That's where I think that's going to end up going.
Ooh, you know what's so dumb is that they're gonna try to make it look like they're all smart. You're like, we really got the internet going. I
know.
I write in these tweets, and I told Rhea to go ahead and tweet this out. And then I said, get in a Twitter spat. Dwayne video.
So, you mentioned something that kind of got my brain going about like how this feud
tickled your brain
with like social media might start giving you vibes of Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton.
Sure.
I think there is a player here that could maybe make this feud interesting.
a player.
And I think that's Io Sky. Not in adding Io Sky, but man, on this last episode of Monday Night Raw, they really hit it home that they love each other. That they are just the bestest of friends and nothing could ever tear them apart. What if, Sancho, we get a Gunther executing Jimmy Uso type of moment with Jade Cargill leaving a bloodied Io Sky in front of Rhea Ripley? Because they're really hitting it home that Rhea loves Io Sky. That is her best friend. And there's no history between Rhea and Jade to really build upon. That's why I think they want to start with this social media spat. And then I thought, like, man, how do you make this personal? And I think Io might be the play here. But I hope it's not so brutal that it forces Io to miss WrestleMania like it did with Jimmy. I definitely don't want that. But that could be the catalyst, right? I feel like that could be the, like, okay, now this feels like a wrestling feud that doesn't feel corporately manufactured on social media. You know what I mean?
I would have to miss Mania, brother.
That's my fear. That's my fear. If you really want to hit it home, or it's this Friday, right? It's this Friday to give Io Sky time to come back. But like, I know the match with Gunther and Jay, people still kind of like scoff at, but that was the one moment that made the Jay and Gunther feud feel a little bit special. It was the execution of Jimmy.
It's interesting though, because we were watching that and Jay's build wasn't that great. He slipped on a suicide dive, he botched it, and then he was questioning himself, and then Jimmy came in to save that. Remember, Jimmy was challenging for the United States Tag Team Championship, and then he like totally dropped that line and went to go help his brother. So you're saying that good old Io Sky has to drop whatever Julia thing that they're speculating to sacrifice for Rhea Ripley.
If it needs the help. Do
you think it needs the help? Because on paper, like, why Rhea and Jade? It's one of those wrestling things. It's like, it's because they want to be champion, but if you wanted to add some sauce to it, you got to sacrifice Io.
I don't think that's just sauce. I feel like that becomes the main course. You know, that becomes the main driver of the story. I'm a person right now that wants to have their cake and eat it too. I would love a moment like that, but I don't want to have Io miss WrestleMania.
Oh, what do you want? I see what you want. You want an Edge and Beth Phoenix type of moment. You want Rhea Ripley handcuffed to the rope and the good old Jade Cargill just power bombing Io Sky to oblivion. That's what you want.
Is it crazy to want blood?
That's what it seems like the WWE wants, because they kind of set us up to believe that they were Golden Lovers 2.0, man.
Yeah.
It's right there.
And like, they still did it here on this episode of Monday Night Raw, and they had like the amicable, yes, you go to Raw or you go to SmackDown and you win. We love each other. This is so great. They're still just such, they feel like they're so important to each other that like killing Io would actually hit.
I got it. You book Jade Cargill and Io Sky on a SmackDown, right? But it's one of those exploding ring matches. And then, you know, at the very end, you know, when Io's down in the ring, out comes Rhea. She runs in. Here comes, runs in and jumps on top of Io to save her from the explosion. And then it's a Danhausen type of pyro. Good old Eddie Kingston, dude, selling for Jon Moxley to protect him.
It was so bad.
So that's the kind of thing you want, huh?
No, that is not at all what I said.
Or you want a concerto. Like, there's different ways to knock out somebody. A concerto would be sick for Jade Cargill. That'd be really cool to put her over as a heel in this match.
I just don't want to lose Io. That's the thing.
Just get over it. You're gonna. What else do you want her to do? Help Julia versus Io for United States title? That's what you want.
Yeah,
you know they're gonna put Julia and Io and Kiana in a tag team match. You know they are.
I don't know, man. I want Julia versus Io. Hey, if they were to do like Julia versus Io versus Tiffany triple threat United States Championship match, that'd be fire. That'd be heat.
You're asking for way too much for the United States title. That thing has been on ice forever.
I think I am asking what it should be getting for competency. And I think that's sad that you say I'm asking for too much, because you're right, but that's also pathetic that just asking for something decent is to ask for too much. That shows you where in the craters, that in the pits, that championship has been, because I really don't think that that's asking a lot. And like realistically at WrestleMania, I don't, but it is also at the same time.
It is. It's, you got to look at the value. Where's value to build up Rhea
Sancho
versus Jade? Yeah, panic button.
Panic button. Maybe the panic button. Io can't miss Mania. She's in the freaking ad. She's in the eating with all of these people. She's going to be at WrestleMania. She's going to be on the Mania card. And if it's not going to be going after a world title, give me Io Julia. Give it
What
to
if
me,
what if Io comes back? You know, like, Jade.
Undead Io?
No, whoa, slow down. Where Jade has.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
where Jade Gulhausen, where Jade has Rhea pinned down, and it's just like doot, 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 doot. I am, and Io's in the crowd, giving that inspiration for Rhea. Rhea, yes, dude, Eagle Powers. She could do that. She could come out to be the inspiration, to give Rhea the extra motivation to win, to dig deep, because Rhea is Superwoman in the ring. She breaks or dislocates her shoulder, she pops it back in, and every time a big time match. So we gotta nerf her some way.
Superwoman, but she did, we can quickly talk about this, but she did eat a pin on Friday Night SmackDown to lose the women's tag team titles. Pretty cool to see Lash Legend pick up the win there on such a big star in Rhea Ripley, but the second that Rhea got pinned, I was like, oh yeah, she's winning the chamber. The women's tag team division now obviously won't have Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. I still think that division has earned like a big multi-woman tag team match at WrestleMania, right? Like if you've put that much effort into it, if you've made fans invest as much time, we've invested so much time in this division, for better or for worse, I think it needs to have a big, give me the TLC match, man. You know what I suggested? I suggested induct the 2001 WrestleMania 17 TLC match, and then have a women's tag team TLC as kind of like an homage, like an honor to it 25 years later. Because they're inducting matches into the Hall of Fame. That's a Hall of Fame match. We already know that. Induct that match into the Hall of Fame and then follow it up with a women's tag team TLC. Why not?
I'm hoping one day you are so kind to me as you are to Devon Dudley. Wow. Trying to get Devon into to get a free hotel stay and a free ride to go to Vegas. Yeah, he did. Not only that, you want him in the Hall of Fame match. With the little bust with a split face. I'm glad for you.
Yeah, that bust is nightmare fuel. I did not that like lived in my head for a while. Like seeing Austin's and Brett's face mixed together. Like, I don't like.
Is that worse than Triple H's statue?
I don't know what statue. Are you? You're talking about like you're talking about the wax figure statue. Yeah, that thing. You are. Where it just looks like he's just shocked.
He's like this the whole time. I do agree with you. It'd be a waste of investment if not to have that at Mania. It would feel like if you were having weekly matches on SmackDown and not being on a PLE type of situation. But you have Charlotte and Alexa, and that'd be enough to add to that irresistible force. And then you could throw in Kiana and good old
Julia? No, stop it.
And Nikki Bella, the Bella Twins.
You got to throw in the Bella Twins for sure.
The Bella Twins have been off. The Bella Twins have been off TV ever since they were saying they were going to go after the tag team titles.
Yeah, that's funny. What's up with that? Anyways, let's keep flowing through everything that happened in Chamber and how it connects to everything.
Can I take over here for Raquel?
Go ahead.
Big Mommy Cool.
Yeah.
What a great performance. What did I tell you? The makings of an elite superstar like a Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. You know what I mean? The chemistry between Rhea and Raquel. I would have loved to see them to be the final 1v1 instead of Tiffany and Rhea. I do feel that Tiffany and Rhea was cut short because Tiffany busted her face open. And they kind of went to the finish pretty quickly. Like all of a sudden after that face buster. But damn, dude, Raquel took over that match. She was the second half MVP. I did not believe that. I did not have that on my bingo card that she would double pin Kiana James and Asuka. Nasty. That pod was that has to be one of the best pod spots I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, the power slam.
Ooh, I think Braun Strowman probably did one of those, and maybe Ryback, but to have Raquel Rodriguez do that, damn, that was awesome. And then her pod footage from her glasses was so fun, and it was interesting because at the entire time when she was in a pod, you could hear her chirping, and I'm assuming she was doing that for her socials. Good for her, but she's awesome, and she looks so. I've never seen a superstar besides Rhea Ripley look so dominant in the ring, but again, it falls into that chamber trope of badass moment. Boom, you're pinned in the next.
But happens all the time. I mean, it took the double teaming of Rhea and Tiffy to do. I think she looked amazing. She, to me, was the main MVP of that chamber. She's now in the hunt for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, which is interesting. Speaking of which, we have a new Women's Intercontinental Champion in AJ Lee. She says she wants to be a fighting champion, but doesn't want to wait till Mania. So we're going to have a match with her defending against one of like 7 women that they announced for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Sancho, you know, you were making some faces over there. You got some thoughts here about AJ Lee?
I think it's an unfair thing to do to her, to expect her to be like beloved, because she's not from Chicago. She's Chicago adjacent, right? Because of her husband. And at the same time, 13 years, been on the bench, hard to carry a full match. I think when you compare Becky Lynch's IC title defenses in the past, Lyra Valkyria is by far her best dancing partner. And it's not the same for AJ Lee. Remember going into that, I asked what kind of Becky Lynch we're going to get. Are we going to get the Healy Becky Lynch? Oh, I'm afraid of you, don't hurt me, or the one that's actually there to grab? And I don't think we got any of that. Instead, what was the biggest draw in that match was Jessica Carr and Becky Lynch. Everyone sat in there like, what are they going to do with Jessica Carr and Becky Lynch? Because Jessica Carr is the referee that seemingly screws her over. And I feel like they built up that feud more than anything that paying off Becky and AJ. And it was sloppy, dude. It was a very tough match, but they got through it and they got the result. And if, like you predicted, if AJ Lee's going to hold on to Mania to put someone else over, I'm fine with it. But it needs to be. I don't think you could have another singles match with AJ Lee. You got to put her in a multi-man.
Are you thinking we're leading towards a multi-woman match at WrestleMania? Because they kind of like rolled out the red carpet of all the who's who of people that could be going after the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I think it was like Ivy Nile, Raquel Rodriguez, Asuka, Bayley, Lyra Valkyria, Io Sky, like all of the names that you want being in this title picture if they're not available for the Women's World title picture, right? They got some heaters in there. Maybe are we thinking it's a Women's Intercontinental Championship ladder match to get all of them involved in some capacity at WrestleMania? Because that'd be pretty heat too.
You kind of have to. It's the thing that, again, it's a great way to protect AJ Lee, to hide her as best as possible and to still have her as a big name in that. And we've invested so much into this tag division that if you're not in that tag division match and you're like the Raquel Rodriguez on the outside looking in, what do you do for Raquel? You got to give her dues somewhere. She's paid her dues. This year has probably been the best year of Raquel Rodriguez. And for her to have to solidify that in the chamber, the opposite of an LA Knight, right? LA Knight is on the opposite side of that, who's been given so many opportunities to show himself in the WWE's eyes, and he doesn't like complete the job. Like, you had one job, just to get on that turnbuckle and hit your elbow, and then you were going to get you do a BFT, and then you're going to get low blowed and you're out. That's all you have to do. And to him to fail that, and then you have Raquel Rodriguez, who's given a little bit more, protecting Keon James with that power slam, nailed it. The Tejana bomb from Asuka, protecting her and doing the double pin, nailed it. So many of those matches that in moments that she nailed. Now it's time to give her flowers, and I think that would be the perfect opportunity to give her the IC title at WrestleMania. And in a ladder match with Big Mommy Cool, ooh, what's the best ladder matches that we watched? Undertaker versus Jeff Hardy. I'm not saying she's awesome. Undertaker, but I'm saying a tall person who is not like a high flyer in a ladder match is always sick. Kane has some of the best performances in ladder matches because he's just a powerhouse, and we need a powerhouse in that. And who else would you put in the TLC, or not the TLC, but the ladder match for the IC title?
Oh, literally everybody that's in that gauntlet match,
except Io Sky, right?
Except Io, yeah, except Io. I want Io versus Julia. That's what I want.
I love it.
It'd be a sick match. It'd be sick.
If Roxy can't go, because Roxy is currently on the shelf, she could be a great help to Raquel Rodriguez. But I don't see anyone else, because if you look at Becky Lynch, I think her time is done with that title.
She doesn't need to do anything else with that title. Like
No.
it's she's done with that title, right? Obviously, the title would love to have Becky Lynch because it's Becky Lynch, but she's done with it. She's done what she can do to put that title in that division on the map as much as she possibly can. I don't, you say she's done with the IC title. I just don't think she's done with AJ. Like 0-3 against AJ Lee, all 3 times getting tapped out.
She's a heel, though. She's a heel, so it's okay.
I get she's a heel, but Sancho, the face here is the part timer. The heel's the one that's going to be there every Monday. The heel's she's gotta eventually look strong. She's gotta eventually get some of that magic back and beat AJ Lee. I think she should beat AJ Lee at some point. Because
did she get the magic back with Tiffany Stratton?
How? For what?
Like when in the NXT, like she did her job in NXT and she left.
Oh, I mean that is a little bit different. Like that's her kind of like paying it forward for the next generation. It's NXT. It's almost like a different universe we were in.
We got a hockey assist here. I mean,
she's assisted her 3 times. We need one back for Becky, brother. We need one back for the one that's going to be there every single week. Let it be known, Sancho wants part-timers to squash our full-timers.
It's a heel. Has The Miz
Sancho
ever got anything?
wants our full-timers to tap out to part-timers every single time and get nothing back in return. So you're saying you want
Roman to beat CM Punk? Is that what you're saying?
I don't. I don't. Why would that be what I'm saying? That'd be the opposite.
It's the same thing.
I want CM Punk, the full-time guy, to win.
How dare you? Because
I'm rooting for the full timers here.
Yeah, but I'm rooting for the heel. I'm trying to tell you my argument is because you're coming at me in a different argument. My argument, it's okay for heels to have a losing streak.
Yeah, but your argument does not work with what I'm trying to say. Your argument, I'm ignoring. I'm ignoring it.
But you would agree though, like The Miz did.
Yeah. No, like I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I just think there's a little bit more of a layer than just you'll gotta lose. I just want my part timer to get something. Sorry, my full timer. I want the part timer's gone it all. The part timer's gone the wealth of riches. When is the person that's there every single week? When are they gonna get when are they gonna get their plate full?
Who pushes tickets?
I would argue Becky.
I'm just doing the Roman Reigns type of thing, right? Roman's on tribal chief time. He doesn't care.
And CM Punk is here to make the 30-year-old virgins living in their mom's basement happy and to move merch. What a line! Of course, everybody in my chat was just like, "That was it, you Santi."
Dude,
let's talk about that now. Let's talk about that promo.
Can we talk about that? Because I think I'm good. I'm good.
You don't want more?
I don't want more because we
got a month and a half, brother.
Listen to me. Take the time to build up the rest of the card because the rest of the card needs the help more than Roman and Punk. We have so much time to build up all the rest of the feuds, to give all the other feuds main event spots, to let them build up to the point of a CM Punk and Roman. We can't keep doubling down, tripling down, because as much as I love that whole thing with WrestleMania 40, didn't we have so much segments for the bloodline in there? The bloodline would open, the bloodline would close. We had promos that didn't even say anything. We had superstars who would eventually dig so deep to the bottom of the barrel. You had Seth Rollins calling Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson diarrhea Dwayne. It got to that point. And my fear, Santi, is like they're going to scrape to the bottom of the barrel of this feud of CM Punk and Roman. And how far can you go, brother? You can't go any further. CM Punk literally said his dead dad of Roman Reigns. Where can you go that does not lead in physical altercations?
Larry.
In my mind. Oh, dig up the bones of Larry? Jesus Christ.
No, wait. I said bring him up.
What's wrong with you?
Dig him up, bring him up, dig him up. No.
Put Larry's bones on a necklace? What's wrong with you, Santi? Jesus. Damn.
No, that's not what I said.
Santi, Jesus. But that's my whole point, brother. You can't go any further. What had happened in AEW? How did they escalate things? They burned a house down. You can't do that with CM Punk and Roman. I've seen my fill. Pun intended. I've seen it all. I don't need anything more. Just build up the rest of the card to get to that level of hype. Because right now, CM Punk and Roman is at an all-time high. There's nothing else they can do, especially if Roman's not going to be there. Why tout out CM Punk by himself to cut those Cody Rhodes type of promos when John Cena's not around?
Okay, fair on when Roman's not there. But if Roman's there, I need more of this. I'll take more of this.
Want?
I don't, dude. They can talk about Ticket to Ride, the board game. I don't care. They'll make it. They'll make it exciting.
Ticket to Ride,
dude. Ticket to Ride's a great game. There's some good strategy to it too. I got so good at it that like we're like, no. We play Ticket to Ride Europe only exclusively here in this household.
A 2 to 5 player game for 8-year-olds plus, where players collect train cards to claim railroad routes across a map, aiming to connect cities and earn the most points, usually taking 36 minutes to play.
Such a good game. It's such a good game. If Roman Reigns and CM Punk were to sit down and play a game of Ticket to Ride on the main event of Raw, they'd make it entertaining, and I'd want to watch that. I want to see as much as I possibly can between these two. You know, you're talking about, we talked about earlier about a WrestleMania that just kind of feels like it's going to have to earn the pop on the day of. I mean, at least let these guys try and carry the bill to WrestleMania and give them that was so good. Like, why do you only want one episode of awesomeness? Like, I want as much as possible. I think that they can absolutely do more of this and still continue to build out the card. I agree with you. Don't trot out CM Punk out there by himself. That's not going to land. If you're going to, let them be together, whether it's promos, attacking each other, whatever. But you can absolutely have your cake and eat it too here. You could build that even more, do more, say more, get deeper, get nastier, and still build the rest of the card.
Isn't it a great day to be alive on a Monday night? Hey, this message is for Roman sitting there. I'm here at work. I'm a full-timer. I'm the man of the people. That's what you want, huh?
I just said the opposite.
That's what you're going to get, though. That's what you're going to get.
But
I'm just saying...
Okay, we are master gaslighters at pretending like somebody said something. I didn't even come close to saying that.
Would you agree, though, that we should spend the most time on the rest of the card? Because that's a lock. That's a lock, I guarantee. That's what I'm trying to say.
Why can't you do both?
It's not possible. And because if you look at Mania 40, that the build, they devoted all SmackDown to that Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. All of it. To be fair, the Bloodline stuff had 3 matches at that Mania. Main event night 1, main event night 2. You could actually even count 4 if you want to, because of course you had Jay versus Jimmy, but you could count Seth Rollins versus Drew because Seth was such a big part of everything that was going on with the Bloodline. That I get. We can't give it that much time here this year because that's one match. We can't. I'll co-sign that one. We can't give it that much time. Okay, but what would you do, though? If, again, CM Punk can't talk crap about the Bloodline, and he did, wouldn't that bring out Solo? That'd be interesting, right? What if
Solo's in the MFTs, man? He's his own Bloodline.
Slow down. What if Jimmy and Jay, just stop, what they're doing and go, wait a minute, what's going on? Because the whole story is Roman's by himself, right? That's what they're trying to tell us. Roman's by himself, but wouldn't it be no matter what's happening, no matter what you're doing, when family needs you, family shows up? Wouldn't family show up for Roman?
Mm-hmm. I mean, in your world, we won't ever find out because you want them to not do anything ever again.
Because I don't think the WWE is going to do that. Be bold.
Be bold and not feature them. Great advice.
Because they're not going to be. They're going to be safe. That's what they're going to do. They're not going to have.
So what are we doing with the 6 Roman Reigns dates that we have between now and I don't think it's that many. It's 4. But what are we doing in those dates? What do you want to do? You want them to you want Danhausen cursing Roman?
Roman Reignshausen.
Where's the other members of the Shield, Roman?
Moxleyhausen. A lot of people miss that he didn't call him Stone Cold. He called him Cold Stone General Hausen. Yes. And then he goes, "Oh wait, Adam Pearce. This guy is with the glasses."
Dude, it was so funny. We'll talk about Danhausen in a second, but let's wrap up this.
But I don't know. I don't know what you do with Roman and CM Punk that doesn't add to the fire, and unless you're trying to make CM Punk a heel. Or you think that's what is happening? It could be one of those great things.
No.
No one's a heel, no one's a
This is
babyface.
this is BVS, man. This is Batman v Superman.
I know, but dude, talking about your dead dad, when the WWE honored him so well, dude. Remember the lead up, the whole thing? They honored him. They gave him the whole. Didn't they do a whole a whole video package for him?
Yeah,
yeah, they did all that, dude.
Yeah, man, it was diabolical. I love that you brought that up. It's one of my main topics in my what would be Tuesday video. I think that this is going to be a program where they will both have their time in the light as heels and baby faces. I just think that this is two heroes, because if you put them against other heels, they'd be the hero of their story, right? But these are two heroes that just happen to have conflicting views on everything that makes them mortal enemies. That's why in my video I called it, this is Batman v Superman, where like obviously Batman against the Joker is the babyface. Superman versus Lex Luthor is the babyface. But what happens when you put Batman versus Superman? Who's the babyface? Who's the heel? The real answer, Sancho, is that question doesn't. Yo, you sided with Batman? No, the American,
the human being. Not the alien from outer space.
But I think what I was getting at is that, Sancho, I think the question of who's heel, who's babyface, I think this is one of the rare situations where I actually think that question doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yes. I see what you're saying. I think that WWE popped the cork too early here. Like they could have built up to your dead dad thing for sure. But
you said that just so casual. Built up to your dead dad thing.
That's what they did. It's like out of nowhere. We're like, whoa.
That's funny. That's funny. All right. Well,
like, give me like, what are you gonna do? Rap battles like New Day? That's basically what they did.
Epic rap battles of history.
We could be all rated R like your boy Xavier. Like, So, but that's the point. Santi, is like you can't hit your high so early in the ride, because I think anything else up to this point needs physical altercations, and you can't do that. What's interesting, I had this thought when you were talking back in the day before all these television, you would have Roman and Punk tour all around the territory doing the same kind of promo, but it wouldn't exist on the internet and people wouldn't see it. So you get like all the little small cities getting hyped, and then you have the big payoff at the big stadium in the state, right? And then everybody's like, oh man, I saw them. And then they could run this same promo 1,000 times and get everybody going. And that's what I'm saying. I think they peaked so early. I don't see it going anywhere else. I would rather be wrong for sure. It could escalate to ambulance rides. It could escalate to visits to dog cemetery. Sure. It could go all over the place, home invasions. It could do all that. But what they did in the ring, I think already peaked. All right.
Okay. All right. Well, what hasn't peaked is the debut of our boxed man, Danhausen. I was not a fan at all of the box thing. At all of the box thing. I think
you hate fun.
Huh?
You hate fun.
No,
hate fun.
Actually, I just think that they set up fun to fail. They set up here. No, actually, I love fun. They made fun feel like it needed to be serious in order to be successful, because that's what people wanted. People wanted somebody serious coming out of there for it to be all worthy of the pop. But then a fun thing comes out and people go boo, boo. People in the internet. I kept trying to tell people, I'm like, man, just give Danhausen a shot. You're gonna like this. I'm confident. Kit Wilson is over as hell with a comedy act. Danhausen's gonna be right alongside him. I just think that the box thing set him up for initial failure. Sancho, I'm going to be honest with you. It's like straight up, this segment on Monday Night Raw where he just showed up with Adam Pearce and cursed Dominic, that should have been his debut. No buildup, no hype. He just appeared back there. That would have been way better than the setup with the box that set him up for failure. I love the dance number. I love the silly pyro. I loved it all, but that comes from somebody that understands the deep cut of Danhausen, somebody that knows the fun of Danhausen. You're in that same boat as well, but you heard it in that arena. People fucking hated it. Now, I believe that they were booing WWE, not Danhausen. That's my headcanon. That's what I'm choosing to tell myself. But this box thing should have been Dragon Lee versus Gunther. It should have been Oba versus Rusev. It should have been something else. Because I feel like part of the boo was a culmination of frustrations, right? People hyping up the box to be something huge, something landscape changing. It's not. So now people paid an exuberant amount of money for 4 matches and what they deemed to be a lackluster reveal. I think it was just a combination of all of these frustrations that led to the boo. And I hate that for Danhausen because he's so good at his job. He's so like genuinely incredible. And I think if everyone that I could see online fell in love with this segment on Monday Night Raw, I just wish we just kind of either did the reveal on SmackDown, on SmackDown and put a match where the Danhausen reveal was, or just had Danhausen show up the way that he did on Monday Night Raw.
It's going to be funny because when it's 5 years, 10 years from now, we're not going to remember Danhausen getting booed. We're going to remember him appearing at a PLE with the Ghoulhausens and the presentation because it's going to be part of the package. It's going to be part of the story because you know why? Because WWE could tell you that it was a thunderous applause.
Oh, yes. Well, that's what Danhausen said. To thunderous applause. Right. Nothing but applauses.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. Is like in the moment, sure, it sucks. But I don't think it's people talking about the Shockmaster and the Gobbledygooker and all those kinds of things. Like, yeah, all those are remembered because the WWE constantly brings them up as bad type of debuts. They're always on a countdown somewhere with WWE. They always show them as a failed comedy type of situation. But Danhausen thrives in that world. I think it worked for Danhausen because he was able to Aikido that with that quick little promo of being a thunderous applause. Like, oh, okay. This guy's in on the joke. This guy knows comedy. And what works really well because he depraves himself in that moment. But he is a rounded out character. And I don't think people don't understand comedy the way it works. And he is a character that's been worked on for years, perfected by him. This dude embodies Danhausen's character to a T. He's not just some, hey, let's just throw this gimmick on you and see what works type of deal that actually worked with Kit Wilson, who was trying to navigate the toxic world like himself. And that's why when he did that kind of promo with Oba Femi didn't really hit, right?
Yeah, it's like Kit Wilson's still learning the character. There's no learning Danhausen.
No, yeah. Kit Wilson, remember when he first came out, when he was the male toxin, he was like waving a flag.
Yeah, he had the picket sign sometimes.
Yeah, and that even there was the WWE trying to figure it out, like the writers. Danhausen, you don't need a write for this dude. The dude knows his character through and through. And if someone writes him something that's not Danhausen, he would go, that's not Danhausen. I'm not going to do that if he probably had pull. But that promo, like you mentioned, the backstage segment with Adam Pearce was pure Danhausen. And what worked the most, Santi, and I'm glad that they did it, was that they put over the curse. That was the most important thing, that segment, is that if he curses somebody, bad things are going to happen. And when he cursed Dom, it's interesting when you watch the people who know ball, who don't know ball, and it's okay if you don't know Danhausen because, like you mentioned, he's a deep cut. But when I looked at all the reactions because the algorithm, this is the most talked about thing coming out of Chamber was Danhausen. He's probably your most viewed video on Instagram was Danhausen's debut. The thing went crazy nuclear. So you have these moments with Danhausen, and I was looking at all the reaction, and when he cursed Dom, there's people going, oh, wow, he cursed him. And then there was other people like, oh, no, he cursed Dom. You're like, no, Dom. So I'm very, very excited for Danhausen because he is like an R-Truth character where not necessarily, I'm not going to like label him as a comedic surface level character like R-Truth in terms of like they're one in the one. He's like R-Truth because he's so round out that he knows the character to the core. Like an R-Truth who could literally run out into the middle of the ring of a Royal Rumble, set up a ladder, climb up the ladder, and look for the belt. Like that's the kind of magic that we can get with Danhausen on a week-to-week basis. And he's going to work really well with Adam Pearce. Kudos to Adam Pearce for nailing the comedic timing of that whole moment too.
Yeah. The beauty of Danhausen is that it works in interactions with goofy people all the way through to serious people. Like his tag team in AEW was against was with the most stoic, dangerous guy on the roster in Hook. They did Hookhausen, where Hook was just carrying everything and Danhausen's cursing. The beauty of Danhausen is that it works up and down the entire cast of characters that WWE has. Like I would love Brock Lesnar and Danhausen to somehow have some sort of moment backstage. I think it'd be funny. But I'm just glad that that we had this segment on Raw, because there was so much, I feel, unwarranted yet at the same time warranted hate at the segment. But what I was afraid is that, yeah, at the debut, yes. I was afraid that the hate was going to bleed into just hating Danhausen because you hated his debut.
Go away, Heat. Yeah.
You'd be doing yourself a disservice. I think you guys are going to really, really like this character. And after seeing what happened on Raw and then putting over the curse, perfect person for him to immediately interact with, by the way, the Judgment Day and Dominic Mysterio. And you know that they're going to do a bit where he just doesn't know JD McDonough's name for like the next year. That's going to be the bit. It's going to be great.
That would be a great main event. That'd be a great WrestleMania. JD versus Danhausen. That would be kind of cool. I'd vibe with that. That's a good like 8-minute match that you could put on the card.
I don't even care about Danhausen wrestling. I'll be honest. I just want Danhausen in backstage segments cursing people and being funny.
You don't want to put Danhausen back with the Ghoulhausens and have a Mania entrance? Come on, Santi.
Listen, I'm just saying, for me, the value of Danhausen is in the comedy, not in the wrestling.
Ghoulhausens, Santi.
You're really into the Goonhausens. What's up with that?
Why did you say Goonhausens?
I said Ghoulhausens.
No, you said Goonhausens.
No, I definitely said Ghoulhausens.
Oh, you did it. Oh.
I definitely said Ghoul.
The point I wanted to make about good old Danhausen is, like I mentioned, if things go south, you need a way to get out of a bad situation, bad booking, just curse and you're out.
Too bad he wasn't around when the Vision's all going down.
Or good old PFC. I'm telling you. Okay, let's go ahead quickly. What scenarios did Danhausen curse? Because remember, he was gone from AEW for a long time. Who knows? He could have been cursing.
Curse the WrestleMania 41 main event.
Yeah. Curse John Cena. Mm-hmm. Made him go heel. Mm-hmm.
Could have been that. Could have been that.
Maybe that was the Rock's. Like that was the plan all along. The Rock would reveal Danhausen.
Yeah. I take a look.
You know what it reminds me of? Like those X-Men mutants that the bad guy just like pulls out because he has like this weird mutant power that no one could overcome, and that's it. You know, like Magneto would pull out Danhausen, you know, he curses you.
The Hacks mutants, yeah, they would always be Hacks mutants, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like how convenient that we have a mutant that can control water, and we happen to be in a body of water. Oh, you Hacks mutant. It's not fair. They would always do that in the X-Men. There would always be some sort of Hacks mutant.
I think Drew McIntyre getting cursed because he's been like losing all the time, especially LA Knight.
Yeah, that would have worked. That would have worked.
Yeah, LA Knight being cursed. Oh, Bronson Reed before he went to the pod. Before he jumped off.
Oh God! Oh, before he jumped off the chamber. Oh, sorry, not the chamber. The War Games cage.
War Games. I do hope he goes to NXT too. Mess with Shawn Michaels. That'd be great.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah. That would be fun. We'll see. We have NXT tonight when we're recording this. Maybe he shows up there. Maybe he does. That'd be cool for him to interact there. All right. So then that led to Penta winning the Intercontinental Championship there, Sancho. One of the things that I said is that, sometimes I'm happy when somebody wins a championship because, that's going to lead to some great matches. And then sometimes I'm happy when somebody wins a championship because it's like, that person deserves it. Very rarely is it both. That was both here with Penta, because I can't wait to see what Penta does with this thing. The matches that he can have. They're already teasing Penta versus Javon Evans. Are you kidding me? That's a Goonhausen right there, if I'm talking about one. But then it's also the guy that's been grinding every episode of Monday Night Raw, having matches every single week.
Why do we do this?
That guy deserves it. What do you mean? What do we?
Why? Why do we do this?
Why? What, Sancho?
Why do we create brain rot? Do you understand we affect so many people? Do you understand the power you wield the most out of both of us?
I do actually, and I like using it for evil.
Like I set you up sometimes. I'm like the Dwayne Wade, and you're like LeBron James. You know what I mean? I do the little alley-oop.
Yes, of
then
course.
you slam it down. I'm not Dwayne Wade, whatever. But I set you up, and now you're gonna run with Goonhausen. You're gonna take it all the way home to the house, dude.
That's what I do. That's what I do. All right, let's talk about Penta. Give me your thoughts here on Penta winning the IC championship. What are you looking forward to here?
Did he have like 6 opportunities for the title, something like that, including Mania? Like, he had opportunities to get it and just always fell short and got screwed over in some weird way. I think it's the biggest thing is that people could finally put the rest that he's getting buried by WWE, and that AEW stars like him and Ray Phoenix are only being used to jobbers and things of that sort. And I cannot wait, because he's going to take that over to Triple A, and that feud will continue between him and Dom over there. How long does the curse last? Is it just like a temporary one-off, or is it
I don't know, man. The first person that Danhausen cursed in AEW was Adam Cole, and he's been cursed for like 5 years. So I don't know if it ever lifts.
That's a good point. Shattered his ankle on a weird... Dude, that's spooky, now that you think about it.
Yeah. His debut was coming out of under the ring, cursed Adam Cole. Not that long after, snapped ankle, concussions, out so much time with injury, nowhere to be seen on AEW TV.
He might retire too because of that. Dude, that was a nasty apron spot. Jesus.
It was all Danhausen.
All Danhausen. I'm hoping we get a program with Grande Americanos, because I don't like I know OG Grande and regular Grande, they're going to continue going forward. It's interesting how in WWE, OG Grande Americano and Penta are cool. In Triple A, they're not.
Yeah, it's so funny. And it's, dude, like the last episode of Triple A, like OG El Grande Americano is legitimately like a diabolical character down there. He beat up Pimpinella trying to interview him. Yeah. It's crazy, man. Like, that's like a beloved character, comedy character in AEW, and then to beat him up like that was seen as like heinous and diabolical. And then he's over here on Raw going, Penta Legenda. It's such I've been watching wrestling for so long. I've never seen something like this, where at the same time there's like a complete like upside down universe happening in a different promotion, all running parallel to what we're seeing on WWE TV. And most people are only watching the WWE portion side of things. They only know the one half of the story. But what's going on in AAA, bro, we're looking at like Austin Rock's Mania 17 levels of hype down there.
Oh, I can't wait.
Dude, do you want the Americanos to have a match at WrestleMania?
Yes, I do. And I'm going to keep saying it until my face is blue. Chad Gable should get unmasked. Kaiser's too valuable. Too valuable in AAA. Dude, he's becoming like Cena levels of babyface over there. They absolutely love him over there. It's bonkers to me that they do. And can you imagine being Ludwig Kaiser, where you're getting so many flowers thrown on you and lotions?
All the lotions.
All the lotions and flowers. Why would you want to go back to the United States and be a mid-carder when you could be the king of Mexico?
Yo, facts.
What would you do? What would you do?
In terms of like booking?
If you're Ludwig Kaiser, the pro wrestler, allegedly.
Okay.
You haven't been on WWE TV in God knows how long, right?
Mm-hmm.
You pick up a mask, allegedly. You put it on, and you're a mid-carder still, a heel mid-carder in the United States, but then you go across the border and you are a main eventer, brother.
That's how it is, man. What
do you do?
You stay there. You stay there, man. That's it. That's his life. That's where he has found his mega stardom. It's mega stardom. I don't think it's an exaggeration. I think he absolutely should be focused on his time in Mexican Lucha Libre. And I think that WWE is going to find more value in him as El Grande Americano than as allegedly Ludwig Kaiser, because they did make a big splash to buy AAA. They're going to want to make the most out of that purchase. And I think that the El Grande Americano, the tall Grande Americano, is going to be a major player in the growth of obviously AAA in general, but the connecting bridge between WWE fans and AAA and getting the traditional WWE viewer to give AAA a shot.
I'm going to tell you this, viewers. If he walked into a Mexican restaurant down in Mexico, he's royalty.
Yes.
He's like a celebrity. They'll roll out the red carpet. Goes here in America, people will be like, "Oh, is that Kaiser?"
Mm-hmm.
That's it. No.
Yeah, leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Nah, leave him alone. No, dude. This guy would get free meals.
It's true.
You know what I do like as well?
What?
Quick pivot. I love this like mucho machismo Andrade in AEW.
Oh,
Taking
with all the OF
ladies.
models?
Oh, yeah, dude. Taking pictures with all the ladies on ringside. It is damn. Like, cool. I wish that it's like, damn, he's so cool doing that because he has the body of a god. And when he takes off,
it's a god. Yes.
Yes. And he has his in-ring ability. Like I mentioned when I watched it in Austin, in Austin, Texas, and on Dynamite, that Judas effect type of move is insanely awesome in person because it just comes out of nowhere.
The elbow.
It looks so violent when he hits it, and it's like, damn. But everything about him just screams like superstar. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're a Ludwig Kaiser, it's like you're allegedly you're a superstar in Mexico, like a mega superstar, and stick with it.
All right,
Sancho. Can you give me your best Bad Bunny? Hey,
oi. Have you seen that the meme of like anytime like my dog tries to get into something naughty, I go, all right.
My favorite is getting the attention of the waiter with the fajitas.
All right, let's do new heat order.
Oh, you petered out, you pumpkin.
What? There's nothing else. You get that set up. I just got to pee real quick.
Boo. All right, quickly, let's talk about, let me see. Let me look at my rundown here that we have here, folks. Yeah, we pretty much cover everything. I want to ask you, for the people of the Glaze Factory, I'm not worried at all. I do respect that LA Knight is going through a lull, but we have, like I mentioned, other great products for people to get. Raquel Rodriguez is cooking, doing really great things. No doubt will be IC title winner at Mania. Kiana James, absolutely cooked at the Chamber. Big time movement for her. Not worried about that. Solo Sikoa, yeah, sure. Solo Sikoa lost to Uncle Howdy, but still retain the lantern, and that's the most important thing. I'm still waiting for WWE to make that matter beyond that, but we're fine with Solo Sikoa. Rusev, he went out there and he challenged Oba Femi. That's big. He went out there and said, Oba, I want you, Oba. And it's kind of... I was just saying that I was giving the people an update on the Glaze Factory. And that, dude, Rusev went and challenged Oba Femi. Like, that's huge for Rusev.
Oh, I love that segment.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, yeah, we can talk about that. I've been, my desire is Oba Brock. I am loving what they're doing with Oba. It's not the go out there and squash him, kid, like they've done in the past with Rusev, and actually, yeah, Rusev was one of them that they used to do it with, like Rusev, Ryback, recently Braun Breaker. It's go out there and squash him, but show us some of your stuff. Show your personality. Show a little bit of your charisma. Be scary on the microphone. And I really think it's working. I really, really think it's working. That promo with The Miz, when he's just like, Mike, tonight you die. It's like, oh my God. Horrifying. But then it also had like 3 minutes of really charming back and forth between the two. I like that they're allowing him to showcase himself as a presence on the microphone as much as they are a presence physically in the ring. I like the route that they're taking. I still want him with Lesnar, but I really like what they're doing here. And with Rusev, I think it's going to be fun, dude.
I did like that line where Miz was like, let me be your Undertaker. I am your locker room leader. I'm your Undertaker. Oh, yes. You are like the Undertaker. Yeah. I see a dead man in front of me. Yeah. Says Oba. I'm for me at this point, I know I'm not on the train.
Not allowed. That's okay.
Not allowed. And I respect that. I respect my...
I'll have you know, though, like, if we, like, are ever, like, let's say we get invited to a WWE 2K event. It was noticed we were not invited. It was noticed.
True.
I am ratting you out to Oba.
Don't do it, please.
I am ratting
My
you out to
anxiety
Oba.
cannot. I would get a heart attack right then and there and die in your arms. Do you understand this?
I will. Sancho, it's gonna happen. I'm going to rat you out to Oba. If us three are ever in the same room, I am telling on you.
Damn. I would feel like I would be your Logan Paul to George. I would feel like George in that moment. I'd be like, please, God, no.
Hey, comments, let me know. Should I rat out Sancho to Oba Femi?
You would look at me and go, is that so, Sancho? I'm like, and I'd be like, yes.
All right.
And then I would go, but it's more than WWE booking. Then that'd be sick, dude. You know what? I'd take a bump for you for that. That'd be fun. Like, imagine the viral videos.
Be nice. Yeah. But I'm definitely ratting you out.
And it's funny is like if I rat you out with Xavier Woods and Austin Creed, like, you know, like, hey, just let you know, he never believed in your New Day.
Mm-hmm.
I think Austin
I'd be
Creed
like, look at that, I ended up being right. Look at you guys.
Isn't it odd the mini controversy they had with Oba Femi and the girl with the pom poms? Isn't that weird?
What a microcosm of the internet wrestling community that whole thing was.
Right. And one thing I wanted to ask you about Danhausen, and I know we left that topic a little while ago, but I think it brings this to light altogether, like a nice little bow to the podcast. Especially with, you know, I will admit I'm leading with a negative foot to Mania, right? I said it's washed, but leading with the hate. And a lot of people are led with Danhausen's debut with hate. Do you think more than ever in all media on the internet, especially the way people responded to Marathon, the Bungie game, that people's first initial reaction is to hate on it, to hate on things first?
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. I don't even think that that's like that modern of a phenomena. I do think that that's been going on mostly on the internet. I think that's an internet phenomenon. I think if you talk to people in real life and like, let's say, for example, right, if we use a gaming example, if you were going to the midnight release of Modern Warfare 2, do you think the people in line there were going into it with like, I'm going to hate this? This is going to be no, right? I do think that there is a difference between the ease of being able to shit on something on the internet versus shitting on something in person. That's why I do think it was valuable to hear the crowd booing the Danhausen segment. Like that speaks volumes. Those were angry customers that went there that don't have the ease of just simply hating online, like, because they didn't have to actually pony up anything. Those are people that like paid money, felt angry and disappointed, and I think that that's worth listening to. But I think more than ever, because of the access to the internet, because of the low risk of like, hey, I can shit on this, provide an opinion without actually having the full set of facts. I think it's really easy to hate on things now.
Because I bring that up because a lot of streamers would say like they enjoy Marathon, and then a lot of the crowd would try to just push back on the hate like immediately. And then my question for you, and I guess for people going forward, is if you lead with the hateful left foot, and I mean that like very lightly because like you mentioned, it's a low threshold because it's internet stuff and it's entertainment. What convinces you to start liking it? So for Danhausen, I didn't need convincing because I loved it, even though it was. But I wondered, like for other people, like what convinces you to start liking things? Like for example, me and Oba Femi, right? In the character of Oba Femi,
not a lot.
I didn't like the gimmick of Oba Femi coming in from NXT, the ruler. But what's helping me get over it or look the other way, even though I'm not allowed, is constant exposure to it. So if Danhausen is getting booed, but we get constantly exposed to him and his character, and you get meaningful outcomes like the Dom curse, then I think people will start liking Danhausen.
Is that how you get people to like you? Do you constantly expose yourself to them?
Wait, what? No, I show up. You understand? I show up, Santi. I don't expose myself.
You're so good with that. Sancho exposes himself to people.
No, I show up. I show up and I'm here. I'm in the comments and I'm not afraid to show up. That's what makes me who I am, Santi. I don't have to be on your thumbnail. You know what I noticed as well? You put a Wrestling is Cool logo on it, smaller and smaller every thumbnail.
No,
Are you not proud of it? Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Why is it so small? Put this one big. Put this one big.
I'm gonna make it as small as possible now because of what you're saying here.
You're ashamed of me. You're ashamed of this podcast. You post this podcast and then you immediately post another video an hour later to kill the growth of this one.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Like 8 hours later.
You're ashamed of me. You're ashamed of my friendship. I don't get hosted by you. I don't understand. Like, I sit here, Con Man hosts me, Wheezy hosts me, Queen of the Ring hosts me. You literally diarrhea liquid ass out of you and you go to the toilet.
Oh, the world's smallest violin.
Which is a fact. You could play your violin on the crapper because that's what you're doing. I'm surprised you haven't gone to the bathroom.
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I said it was to pee, but it wasn't. You're gonna expose me like that, like you expose yourself to people, then we might as well just lay it all out.
It was to pee out of a different end.
Dude, brother, it was bad. It was bad.
So
it's been bad.
The whole time I'm talking about the glaze factory, you were glazing the toilet?
Sancho, yes.
Gross.
Move on.
Ew. How closer you are to the toilet? Is it right there?
Yeah, I got a toilet maybe 10 steps in here.
Oh my God. Did you mute your mic?
No, it's right here.
Oh.
Why would I move my mic?
Did you mute it while you were just throwing chunks into the
I wasn't that loud.
I don't know, dude. Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure nothing picked up.
Okay, somebody out there, when Santi steps away from that moment, just add bunch of fart diarrhea sounds.
New eat order.
Don't you leave.
Don't you leave.
Don't you leave. Don't go to the bathroom. Oh, God. Just be like... You knew he orders the hotness, the excitement, the buzz that we've been exciting. We missed out last week because I could go pick up my child.
Yeah, a lot of people were mad that you chose your child over the pod.
Yeah, I know. But it gave you the moment to carry the pod by yourself. I didn't hear what you said. You were talking about the greed of TKO and blackouts. Huh?
People like that little conversation.
Dude, I'm thinking that they might be coming after us next.
Our watch parties?
Yep.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yep.
I could see it. Number 1.
Danhausen.
Yeah, I'd go with Danhausen.
I don't want to be cursed.
I'm leaning towards 2. Do we go like Penta here?
Seth Rollins.
No. Oh, yeah, Seth. I forgot about Seth. Yeah, Seth. Yes, absolutely.
Seth using his Black Mask goon attack. Send them near the little minions attack. You know what I mean?
They're the Goonhausens.
No. There's only one Goonhausen. All right, how many so far? Number 3. I'll take a Penta here, but okay. I don't know.
Ooh,
Roman
what about
and
Paul
CM Punk.
Heyman?
No, what about CM Punk and Roman?
Yeah, okay, go CM Punk, Roman, then Penta.
Okay. Who do you think won that exchange between Punk and Roman?
Punk got the mic drop. Roman got the last mic drop with the "I hate you."
I hate when they cross, like in theater, when you cross past someone and they grab the arm. Mm-hmm. Very soap opera-ish. You would never let someone grab your arm and then you sit there and you look.
No, I'd be like,
and then you wait.
I keep going.
Wait for the response. You'd be like, get your hands off me. No me toques. Mm-hmm. Roman Reigns. And then
Punk
Paul
and
Heyman?
Penta.
Oh no, Punk, Roman, Penta, right?
Sorry, Punk, Roman, Penta.
Yeah. There we go. There you go for those people. These are state-of-the-art graphics.
Am I crazy to say 6 Raquel?
Based off of Chamber, yes, but it's a shame they didn't really follow up on her. I mean, she had that backstage segment, but...
Like, I know Rhea won the Chamber, but I don't think that, she's got the buzz at the moment.
No, Raquel does. I mean, Raquel had a great moment on the Raw Talk. And she talked about now everybody wants to get on the Big Mommy Cool train. And I'm like, I've been on that train.
We've been there.
Day one, Raquel. Who else would you rat me out to? Who else besides Oba Femi?
I mean, that's the main one. Definitely rat you out to Oba. I I don't think there's. I'd rat you out to Cena and the amount of times that you make the thumbing joke of him just I'd be like, Cena, you need to watch this compilation of him pretending to be you getting murdered. I'd rat you out to Cena. I'd tell on you.
Damn, snitches get stitches.
But the thing is that like that's not realistic. It is a realistic world that we might be in the same room with Oba one day, and Sancho, will, without a shadow of a doubt, rat you out to Oba.
Gulp. Number 7. You know what? I'm happy that all these mysteries are over. In the WWE.
They're not. Who attacked Jay? Who attacked Spot 2? That's still going.
Who cares?
I agree.
Number 7. Randy Orton?
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. I love that we're on the same page. When you ever have diarrhea, do you think like, man, at least I'm losing water weight? That's what I think about. Not that I'm possibly dying. Number 7, dude. That back in the day, if you had that, you're dead.
It's game
brother.
over, brother. It was done.
What a worse way to go, dude.
Yeah, man. Just dysentery.
Oh God. Number 8. Any love for Liv?
Not really much on this episode.
Any love for the Irresistible Forces?
Give me Irresistible Forces.
Okay.
I think
9
we should
or 10?
put them on there.
At 8 or 10?
8. They won titles. Come on, give it to them.
Okay. I gotta find dirt on you now in the WWE. There has to be something that I could find. Comments, let me know. It's like a rat Santi out on something. 9 and 10. We have Penta. I mean, we have room for Kiana, but I don't think we haven't seen what is the afterplay. Because
I think we either got to go for this either Kiana or Raquel.
I have Raquel at 6.
I think Raquel's our play here for that. Okay. I think we can probably think of other 2 people aside from Kiana. If not, maybe we could slide Kiana in at 10 and figure out a 9 here.
I'm still thinking. Oba, Femi, and Rusev. In love for Rusev.
And do that Friday night SmackDown destruction of the Miz. Give me Oba. At least Oba.
Oba at 9. I'll give you Oba at 9. 100%. I'm trying to be so nice.
He's trying to. So transparent now.
Number 10. Nick Aldis?
I mean, I was going to say like Drew because of that segment, but Nick Aldis was kind of the one that stole the show there. Yeah, put Nick Aldis on there. Why not? Nicholas the Prickless.
So this is what we have here, folks. And what would you give a grade, Santi, on good old Dominic Mysterio's IC title reign?
It's like a C-, mostly, sadly.
Wow. Now I got my ammunition. Dom, Santi hates you. You walked right into that one. Number 10, Nick Aldis. Number 9, Oba Fabian. That will hurt your heart when Dom hates you. Number 8, Nia Jax. And Lash Legend. Number 7, Randy Orton. Number 6, Raquel Rodriguez. Number 5, Penta. Number 4, Roman Reigns. 3, CM Punk. 2, Seth Rollins. Number 1, Danhausen. Dude, you would absolutely cry in your pillow at night if you found out that Dom hated you. You'd be oh, really? That's cool. Blocked.
Oh, that would hurt.
That would hurt you, wouldn't it?
Hurt. It would.
You know what? I feel like you're dead to me now because I don't see you on X. So I have no idea what's happening in your side.
And I'm never unblocking you. Never, ever, ever unblocking you. I kind of forgot that I blocked you, actually.
So if you post like some emotional post that you're going through something and your boy needs help, I wouldn't know.
I'll never post anything emotional on X. I'll let you know that right now.
Right now, post about your diarrhea. See what happens. See if people care.
Good. I'm good.
Do it. Just be like, you know what? Ask for advice. See what kind of advice you get.
I'll pass from getting Twitter advice on my diarrhea. Folks, thank you guys very much for watching and or listening to the Wrestling is Cool podcast. Reminder that our $15 patrons are our producers and do get their names read out here at the end of the show and will be part of movie night. Yeah, the Scorpion King.
I have the ability to point this camera at my TV and you get sound. Maybe we could watch a VHS.
VHS. Oh.
Ooh. Just thought.
I like it. Okay. Special thank you goes out to Daddy Dom was robbed. Justice for Dirty Dom. 411 Russ. Toasty. Ayo Salguero. Acknowledge the pressure. Active D4C. Aiko 4559. Bream Zuda. Alex Regal. Alex. Alvi the Chosen One. Amalek. American Nightmare. Cody Lander. Anthony Blaze. Antonio Arjona. Antony. Arix. Ariel Pacheco. Arrogance. Arturo Gonzalez. Ashley. Ashlyn Poole. Austin, The Pressure Theory, Avada Wepa, I'm Sancho, I'm out here being a bum, Baldy, Ben Philla, Be Hostile, Big 40 Maddox, Blair Loves Wrestling, Blenda, Blue Bat Love Wrestling, Blue Cord, Bluefish, Brad Davis, Bradley, Braden Primo, Brody Cyphers, Bronk, Lesnar, Ponytail Bitch, Brian Gallardo, Bubba the Big Fella, Bunny Swag, Cameron Warren, Cameron Talks WWE, Cameron Whittle, Carlito, KCR, CB, Chad, Chainster, Chandler Swinford, Chew Poppy, Chris Butner Lucas, Chris Kyle, Christian Anderson. We got two. You know, you got two subscriptions, both at 15. Don't cancel them. Keep them going, bud.
Maybe there's two people, two
It
different
could be.
people. That's
It could
a very
be.
common name.
I guess, you know, it is different emails. But it is
There
the
you
same,
go.
if it is the same person, just remember, no refunds. Chucky Gonzalez, Colby Mayo, Connor Harris, Cool Whip Tim, Corey King, Cowboys fan, go to the mall to buy dildos, Cucumber in the bum, Danhausen Poof,
the fuck?
Dan Schuberth, Dan Squiggles, Derek Barnhart, D. Lopez, Dominic the Coco, Drake Hughley, Dylan, Eagle Steve, Egg Toast, El Juan de Americano, El Yoshi, El Ruiz Romero, Ethan Richardson. Hey, it's Austin Theory. Call me the pressure, please. I said screw Drew. Gimme Aldis versus Baldis at WrestleMania 42. Fletcher Walpole, FMFCMA, Foster JK, Freddie Trejo, Frenzy, Freezer, Fugnux, F as in Fugnux, U as in Ugnux, Gaming Nerd 315, Gilbert Deans, Glass Eater, Godspeed, Goose Lesnar, GXA Man, Haunted Nukes, Heath Robertson, Hey Shakes, I'm Rick James, bitch. I've missed Undertaker's dong. Ilya Dragunuts, Ilya Jerkinov. What is wrong with you guys? I'm Braun Strowman. That meme was from like 2 years ago, brother.
Why are you
says,
hating on Braun Strowman, dude?
Just saying, it's from 2 years ago.
You know what you sound like? People that hate on Kyler Murray. Where is he going, by the way? To San Diego?
What team? Anyways, that was a terrible joke. Absolutely no one is laughing with you. This one's all you, brother. Issa says, week 12, asking Santi to pay for my WrestleMania ticket. It's Bogey. It's Astro Kid, Jack, Gibbley, Jack Harris.
Yeah, why don't
Jackson.
you pay for it? You got money.
Jacob Dorn, Jacob Mueller, Jacob Saffel. Nice try. I'm not. Jake, James Armin, James Smith, Jared Hernandez, Jason De Dios, Jason Flint, Jason Vane, Javier Rodriguez, Jack Steller, JVM McDuffie, JC Worley, Jeremiah Alston, Jeremiah Finley, Jeremiah Kelly, Jahihi Ahihi, Joe Benitez, Joe Exotic, Joe Velez, Joey Romig, Joey Wrestling, Jonathan Cox, Johnny Moore, Johnny Owens, Jordan, Jose Olivares, Jose Navarro, Juan Lomeli, Juan Vega, Juliana Sarfi, Julian Wainwright, Jr., Justin Brooks, Justin Perkins, Caleb Martin, keep Sancho's name out your effing mouth, Kevin Vega, Kevin Clark, Kiana James Glazer, Kilo SC2, KJT, Cody Barker, Christopher Gutierrez, Lawrence Richard, Louis Newlands, Liam Loshifu, Logan Ward, Look, it's Pac-Man, Wepa, Luis Jimenez, Luisito El Calvo, Majed, Maldesol, Ruka Glazer, Mark, Marnie YCSM, Mason, Matthew Oberg, Matthew Watkins, Mossy Mackay, Meredith Lee, Michael Murnane, Michael Paz, Michael III, Miguel Paredes, Minoru Suzuki is goated, Muhammad Albanai, the Gibby Fresh Zap, Nathan Tully, Nicholas Protopapas, Nicholas Kyle, Nihilus, NyQuil Pad, Noah, Noradin was Noradin, Obi Nobi, Oil Up Now Santi, Old Man Rican, Oliver Hammonds, Omar Ghazawi, Oscars Emez, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Papa Bear, Pat R, Pat McMark, Peyton Muscle Man, Piper Nevin is goated. My Raquel theory fell to shit. Frody, Prince Vegeta, Puppet Spanker Johnson, randomly chosen. Ranga Dog, Rainer Neko, Reaper God, Red Hot, Wepa Peppas, Rick Mar, 1R, Ricky Dutcher, Rose City Savage, Brian Halberg, Ryan Munez, Ryan Spradley, Riley, Sadie Brink, Samil Love Santi, Sancho doesn't get a safe space or thumbnail, Sancho doesn't like donating to charities, Santiago, Santihausen food poisoning, Sauce
You can
God.
tell Oba too. You can tell Oba he doesn't donate to Ronald McDonald's house.
I'm gonna every bad thing you've ever done, I'm telling Oba. Sauce God, Saudi Rig Boogs, Savage Field, Scott Linden, Shane, Sean Sampson, Shitstain Nakamura, Sir Kates, Slayer, Stay True, Sugar Shane, Super Malachi Galaxy, take a shot every time Sancho says good old, the Patriots own the Chargers, Vancouver Rim Job, Jesus, the Vanilla Joe Rilla, the LA Knight Mega Glazer, Jacob Kufis, the final boss is going to be Bloodline Rules, Tom Cerati, Trevor Harder, Trevor Shiflett, Turner Dahl, Tycho, Tyler Bouchard, Tyler Logan, Tyler McGarry, Undead T, Unknown Zero, Utah Beach, Vegan Penguin, Venom D, Tyler, very nice, very evil, very Wepa. Nice. Verzo.
Dude, what does happen to Aleister Black? Damn.
There's nothing there, man.
See, that's the problem with the Karrion Kross Aleister Black characters. They never get credit for the turn, even though they started the turn.
That's facts. Voidsy, Wade, Juan Pablo, Wayne Heiser, Wayne, Wepa Group LLC, White Mexican, Wody, William Newton, Wyatt, Zax Mira, Yo Girlside, Zach Griffin, Zach Butcher, Z2K, Zeke Love, Zergzito, Osaka, BBNJ, gracias. Thank you all very much for watching and or listening and subscribing to the Wrestling A is Cool podcast. Thank you all very much for hanging out with us. You guys take care and be wonderful people.